for this ministry here. So on the state lines that I'm in, and even the borders, borders. That's borders change that over time. Borders don't normally stay the same. And normally they move the most when there's a war going. It's like should be pretty obvious right now, right? So we'll talk about that. Thank you, Father, for the ability to have a seeing eye, a spiritual eye, a celestial eye, a biblical eye. Making sure those that they're in the same that everything's in the narrow way. It's got to go through sup vipers, cash your pearls before swine. So wait back. Oh, what do we got going there? Let's turn that off. All right. What's happening in your neck of the woods? What's happening in your neighborhood? They yanking people out of your neighborhood? Maybe you're next on the list. Are you on the list? How many times have you been on the government's list? What's the government hiding from you? Why are they stocking up food, digging holes in the ground, and stockpiling seeds and medicine? Then you get demonized if you do that, right? Oh, you're a prepper. Yeah, Christ was the biggest prepper because nobody's ever come close to, not was, he still is. I'm going to leave this place. Go to my Father's house is at. Not in the sky. So that's where they screw that one up, don't they? And that's what's going on is we're in the 6th extinction event and God's not in the sky. And the magnetosphere is getting crushed, and we're getting, South Atlantic anomaly down there in the South America, and all the negation of the magnetosphere since the 1800s. This is not new news. So news, get with the news, north, east, west, and south. He said he'd send the angels to the 4 corners of the rock that you walk on, right? So here we are. Thank you, Father, for the blessing not to be fooled by balls in the sky. This one time in ball camp. This is ball camp. The spinning ball crew. They're in the spinning ball camp. Everybody's got their camp, right? You're in this camp. They're in the red camp. Well, I'm in the Democrips. We're the Democrips. And the Crips and the Bloods. They had that when cherries and blueberries. You notice when they pull you over, they got red and blue, right? So they're gangs. Democrip, Republicans, thugs, cops, pigs, state troopers, sheriffs, county, city. They're all thin blue line. What's the definition of a gang? A heavily armed group of thugs, 6 or 8 or more when I was a pig. So all wearing the same color, right? Going around harassing and extorting the general public. So thin blue line much? That's all right. How are you going to make it through the 6th extinction event? Most won't, right? Well, that's how an extinction works. Doesn't mean things die off completely. I mean, an extinction means that we're in the 6th extinction event now, so that's why everybody's acting the way they are. They just don't know what's happening, right? Are you going to be the one to survive? How are you? Put in the chat. How are you going to survive the 6th extinction event? Are you going to be one of these people that gets taken out in this extinction? Does that mean everything's going to die? No. There's still carrots, right? They dangle that in front of you like a string, like on a puppet, and you just keep chasing it. We still got lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. What do you know? Rabbits? We got rabbits too. Silly rabbit tricks are for kids. They're tricking you. They know what's going on. If they told the public would panic right now. So they're never going to tell the public. It's a whole lot easier to just tell everybody to go inside and blow them all up in one building than to have them all running around, right? Welcome to the United States military. USA, U.S. Army's here. Everything's good. Go inside. Roger sent me great coordinates. Never mind. Moving on up. We got to be careful. We just keep sparking the algorithm. Last we lost our last live stream. We lost our live stream. We actually lost the chat, and they just keep disconnecting us. We get disconnected. They don't like when you're hearing this. Aletheia is the word truth, so I want you to hear the truth. I want you to be televised to your eyes, and have put verbal and visual voodoo on you. Cast spells. Start, throwing curses and cursing at you, and oh shit, flinging crap, always out broadcasting crap, all these lame stream media. You're an idiot. Shut up, sinner. You're a sinner. You know that? You're a sinner. He said, those who without sin, the truth is not in them. So be quiet there. There's no such thing as luck. You're an idiot. You have the stupidest name ever. No such thing as free will, no such thing as luck. So I don't want to answer somebody who's an ignorant puke like you. You are. Your name is the stupidest thing in the world. No free will, no luck. So, lucky. What are you, like a rabbit's foot here? Or, silly rabbit tricks over kids. Answer me that. Why do you have such a stupid name? Maybe I'll answer you. No such thing as free will. Nope, no free will. If you're one of those free willers, get out of here. Free Willy, and get out of here. Yeah, remember the sinner. Oh, sinner. Oh, sinner. We're all sinners, you idiot. Are you in here on the last one? Get out of here, child. You don't want to answer me. Your name is stupid. There's no such thing as luck. You're a child. So, does anybody think there's such thing as luck? This guy is called Lucky. Let's show everybody, because he says I'm a filthy sinner. You're a filthy sinner. Okay, sin, sure. I'm not some kind of perfect person. You got me pegged. That's right. I'm a work in progress, baby. But you, not by luck, not by chance, not by free will. No free will, no chance, no luck, can't accept Christ. You don't know anything. Tell me what the word sin is. Define the word sin, or I'll just kick you out of here, because your name's so easy to see. You stand out like a rabbit's foot. Like Thumper over there. Silly rabbit. Show. Okay, no more questions. All right, goodbye, Lucky. You have the stupidest name ever. I'm going to teach everybody off your idiocracy. So, there's no such thing as luck. Let's get this idiot out of here. Goodbye. So, no such thing as free will. This isn't by chance. These things happen thousands of years in advance. They know of these cycles. We have Yuga cycles, Heimlich events. Many of these cycles have seen through the ice core data. We're talking about, in this case, the magnetosphere. Okay? It's been waning. It's been negating. It's been canceling since the speed you did before turning on the camera. Is this it? Okay, cool. You're out of here, stupid ass, because you're worried about what you see. So, probably most of these people who say stupid things, brother, sister, stupid means to be nice. That's all these people are trying to be nice to me and say they're saying anything of any value. So that's a bunch of nice worldly crap. So you say worldly crap in here, I'll just moderate you out of here. How about that? So this is happening, and I'm going to be one of the people who he said you have to endure to the end if you want to be saved. So I got to make sure that I endure to the end. So you got to fight to the death, to your very last breath. So most of these people are like a turtle. Get them on their back and they're screwed, just like any woman I've ever got on her own back. She was screwed too, right? Kind of like most of these people. Sorry, I apologize. I'm not sorry for anything, ladies. This world is so filthy. It's okay. There's still some, Holy Ghost is the bride. Father created more vessels of wrath fitted for destruction. Goats. Most people go to hell. It says that in the book of Matthew. So I don't have to worry what people think, right? I just care what the word thinks. I judge with righteous judgment. I use the word against people. Everybody I come across, I judge them. I'm so judgmental. I know, huh? I love it. I love this covenant. Let him be the condemner. You just judge with righteous judgment. There's a lot more goats than sheep. Connection. That's what it says in the book of Matthew. Most enter by the wide gate. Very few find the straight gate. So Father's bride is a teeny tiny bride. Most people go to hell. So let's not worry about turning goats into sheep. It's not possible. They love their goat Jesus. So it's okay. No worries. Jimmy crack corn, right? Can't serve two masters. Your master's dead to me. So, hey, ho. They love their, you want to know where all the hoes are at? Ask Santa. They love their Santa, Satan, God, Jesus Christ, birth in the middle of the winter. So, hallelujah. They're under the law. It's a flesh. So, tree gods. Moloch, remember, throw your kids in the fire, each kids. Krampus, Santa. Ho, ho, ho. What do you know, Joe? Do I believe that the tribulation is upon us? Well, if you're not going through tribulation, you're antichrist. You're the other gospel. Absolutely, we're already in the last book. 100%. We've already seen the rider on the white house or horse, and we're now seeing the rider on the red horse. So we know what the black horse brings, and then the pale green horse. So how are we not? You're supposed to be going through what's the ellipsis you must go through to receive the kingdom of heaven. That means we're going to see this time come to pass too, right? Exactly as it says, every jot and every tittle will come to pass for that great and dreadful day of the Lord. So if you're not going through the word, the ellipsis is tribulation, and you can't believe, I'll just correct you real quick so you don't, just for conversation, dialect's sake, that you can't believe. I mean, do you think, because believe is not a thought. So when you ask, you want to ask me if I think, right? So you can't believe. So just to help you, but that's all through the gospel. We have to be going through much. The ellipsis is the word tribulation, and that is what we must, to the bride of Christ is going to suffer. It's the word theolobo, is to be pushed on both sides, because you don't do the friends don't like you because you don't do these worldly things, and maybe you don't go to the bar all the time. Like you start stepping away more from these worldly things, and you're more spend time with the word. And people who more like to do the word than more than the word. So, and you don't have to do things with other people, but you should fellowship. That's what, I was corrected. That's why this ministry is even here, because I'm out in the middle of nowhere. My nearest neighbor's miles away this way, and I don't have, neighbors, and I'm kind of a loner because I've separated myself. I don't like what the world's doing right now. I'm a veteran. It makes me sick every day to think that Christ stood against the law because they perverted it, and nobody's willing to stand up against this perverted beast system now. They're going to go down as the silent majority. That's why most people enter by the wide gate, because they're the broad way. They're not willing to theolobos. Theolobos is that pinching to come down to this point down here, but that's a process to be pinched through the straight gate. That's the ellipsis is tribulation. Theolobos is the word pinched, like being pressed down, like they pressed him and stretched him back so he couldn't breathe, and it almost makes me like lose my mind in my breath when I think about, people don't even care. They didn't hang anybody on crosses. That's not what, nobody was ever crucified on a cross. When you were staked and to a stalk, and then they raised you on a tree, you formed, which was a cross, but you were not, nobody carried crosses. And he tells you in the book of Luke to carry your cross if you're a disciple, and if you're a yoke. There was yoke, like you try to make people understand. They put a yoke around people's neck. That yoke, through his hand, they staked him to a yoke, or pegged him, or you say nailed, but that's not the term they used. No, it's not very close nearby upon us. Did you not hear what I said? If you're not going through tribulation right now, you're not a disciple of Christ. You're not getting it. You have to go through tribulation your whole life. You must be refined like gold and silver. You must be put through the heat, long suffering. So if your life is easy, then you're on that other Jesus. So the tribulation is part of being a disciple, and it's happening right now. We're in the last book. We are in Revelation. We're in the age. We're not in Pisces. Remember Fomalhaut the fish? You go to the age, you follow the water to the water bearer. He said, go to the man pouring out the living water, the vessel, and it's pouring out on the age of deception. Remember? Where's my water drop? Water drop, deception. Pisces, The age of Pisces started in between 2 and 3 BC with the birth, right? Remember? Of the conjunction of the Star of David from fire to water. That's Fomalhaut, the age of fish, Pisces. We're in the age of air now. We're 100% in the book of Revelation. We're 100% in the age of air, Aquarius, air, Aries, ram, tabernacle, place of rest, house, my father's house. That is the tabernacle. I'm going to go to where my father's house is at. That's in the tabernacle, the place of rest. These people are very lost when it comes to the firmament. They have no idea what's happening. So prepare a place. I'm going to come back and I'm going to receive you. Father's the ram. David declared him the Lamb of God. That makes Father the ram. So there you go. Ephesians 6. Love it. So we have to go through thalipsis. Long suffering is what the scripture says. You must go through long suffering. And like gold and silver, you must be put through fire. That's right. The Antichrist is here because the Antichrist is the spirit of the Antichrist. There's no physical Antichrist. Although they'll perform a physical Antichrist act, all this book, it's not the bride, we don't fall under the law. Remember, Paul said, just as he said, Stoner just put in Ephesians, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. May the power of his might put on the whole armor of God, that we be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. So we wrestle not against flesh and blood. We're not under that flesh law anymore. This is what Paul was telling you, that sacrifice of blood, Passover, sacrifice at the altar. Remember, now it's on tables of our hearts with that beard blood that he paid. Wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, spiritual wickedness. This is a spiritual battle, right? Spiritual wickedness in high places, right? The rulers of the darkness of this world. Wherefore I say to you, put on the whole armor of God. So he's telling you twice. Just a couple live streams up, I encountered a practicing witch. I turned to Werner. That one's on deaf ears. You can't change somebody their phone. Can't turn a goat into a sheep. Just show them to the narrow way. Somebody's in the broad way, show them to the narrow way. Hey, at least you tried. You did your job. 2 times and get out of there. Leave them alone. That's what it tells us to do. That's the word says. Show them to the narrow way. If they're the broad way, show them to the narrow way. If they're in dark, do workers of darkness, show them to the light. They don't want to hear it. They're an ass. They don't want to learn. Stubborn. They're beasts. Brutish in nature is what Christ would call them. So don't worry about it. You've done your job. That's what you're supposed to do. 2 times. That's it. Move on. It's all that Father's asked you to do. It's all that Christ wants us to do. Turn your cheek. Give a chance of forgiveness. 2 times. That's it. Remember? Move on. It is. It's a spiritual antichrist, Mark. It is. The word mark means karak. Karak. In the Greek. Karak, marked. People say the mark of the beast. Just your name. I'm just bouncing off your name. That is the word character. So remember, the word sin is to be off the mark. There's no physical mark. It's your character. Right hand. Don't hit that person. Don't smack that. Who's controlling who? Huh? We're not under the physical. Let Father wrestle not against flesh and blood. Fight all your battles. Let vengeance be mine, saith the Lord. Turn your cheek. So don't go be seeking vengeance after anybody. Wrestle not against flesh and blood. Your powers are a higher battle, right? Don't fight your brothers and sisters. Let Father fight your battles. All of them. You'll win in the end. Don't worry. Your treasure awaits you. Through much thalipsis you must go through to receive the kingdom of heaven. So tribulation is, you must endure to the end to be saved. Picked up, carried, lifted. Sozo is the Greek word for salvation or be saved. Picked up, lifted, carried from beginning point, brought to an ending point. Healed. So anybody who wronged you, he will right. Anybody who was out of line, he will straighten that out for you. Don't seek vengeance. Don't go after anybody. That's why you're getting pinched, because the whole world wants you to go by these Old Testament laws, eye for an eye. So a lot of people don't understand when they think of the mark, they think of it as a physical. And so to be saved, we have to go through this tribulation. Endurance is not a short little sprint, barely get your heart rate up. I mean, this is a long race called life. It's a marathon. And if you want to be saved, then you want your prize, you can spend your treasure here, but you want to have nothing securely in a higher place. Let no man take your crown. Revelation 3:11, he tells us, I come quickly. Let no one take your crown. So that's your prize, but only those that go through tribulation. So he pours out a just measure. Remember, give that shekel to the rich man, because he had the least, but he didn't use what he was given. So we must use what we're given. We all get a different measure. He pours out a different measure on each one of us. So we just got to remember that. We're all here. We're all created under this new covenant, but not all of us are vessels of mercy. Most people are vessels of wrath. All you can do while you're here is just show people to the narrow way. Move on, man. There's too many people that are doing it. I don't mean to like you're going to get brownie points. Probably my nose running. It's getting a little cold out here. But your treasure awaits. You're not bringing anybody to Father. Father said, if I call out to their hearts to seek after me, not one of them would. So you're not making anybody come to God. You know what I'm saying? You're not making anybody come to Christ. That's not your job. Your job is to show people to the light. They're in the broad way. Show them to the narrow way. Be quiet, Bill. You guys are such swine. Moderate the drug pushers out of here. I have a whole library. I got books coming out my ears all over out here, but you could get the McClintock Strong 10 volumes for all the battles of Israel. There's a 10-volume set. There's that talks about all his heavens, his heavens, Israel, of all the battles that are not mentioned in Genesis. I have all the other texts. I mean, I read other texts, but I don't find the gospel in the other texts. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, from time to time, I used to spend so much time in Enoch, because I'm a magi. I love the celestial firmament, how it declares, I know because of the firmament how old I am. I know that I'm not in my 50s. I'm millions of years old. I don't do this 6,000 years nonsense, but it's okay. It keeps me in this 6,000 year slice as the Scorpizzo, as he birthed me as this, the strongest celestial magi sign in the firmament is this false teacher. It's wise as a serpent. So I just don't, I'm just not enthralled in by anything other than the gospel anymore. So I do, but now I'm so seriously hyper focused because I'm a farmer, and I have this ministry here, which is a large, 25 acres to 45 total out here. It was 65, but I've sold, a 20-acre parcel off, and trying to get some of those other parcels sold here, so I don't have to look after all this. And now I paid off all but one parcel. So I have quite the busy. I have animals and race farms, so I don't do as much reading as I used to do. I used to just smash my time into all kinds of other books, but yeah, other books I'd read, I'm more into more books like, old ways and old things. Like there's a book, The Lost Ways, and that's got a bunch of amazing information. There's another book that I pull up here from time to time that's called The Relocation. What is it called? I can't remember. It's by Joel Scalzi. It's a book where it talks about all the states and how all they're set up, the demographics. I'm a numbers guy, so I crunch numbers and statistics. So although I do like books. I now find blogs more. I can look up a book or something and then look up a blog about that book and then get a really good overview, and then find the comment sections that have some amazing products that to me it's like I can't, it's like it's a buffet of things for me to select from. I say products because there's just so much there a lot of the time in the comment section, and a lot of people forget that you guys in this ministry make up the comment section that I've learned so much from in this modern day world. It's not that I didn't learn from the blog or the video log itself, but the comment section, sometimes people drop some amazing links and bring up things that weren't brought up in the actual discussion or whatever, article or whatever it is that I'm looking, or if I'm looking up a book and go, wow, I would have never thought about that. So be that person, you know what I'm saying? If you could, bro, it's just, you don't have to, but if you're that person that you can sit there and, I look at the comment section and you guys drop we have some pretty amazing comments from time to time in here. I'm super appreciative people help, try to produce fruit in this ministry. You could put anything in the chat. It's like you could put anything in your search engine. You can sit there and pull your chain all day, or you could look up anything. You get one-sided, and you can look up whatever you want. In this world we live, it's like a smorgasbord. It's like the buffet, baby, like the Golden Corral, if you will. You got the breakfast, lunch, and dinner going, but in this case, it's not all good for you. It's got to be selective of what you chew on, if you will. So I appreciate the good comments in here, people who put meat, and that's what he wants us to do, is be that, be that meat, be that something that people chew up the meat and spit out the bones, baby, So it's what it is, like I said, I know people don't like it. Well, get out of here then. You're not here to change anybody. You're not going to change this ministry. Father controls the ministry. He just made me make the ministry because I lack fellowship. I'm a loner. Can't you tell? I got no friends, got no family, got nothing. So I don't even have my son. I don't even know where he's at. I don't even have a big enough network for nobody to help me look for him. So isn't it amazing, though, the access that we have to information? And then, like I said, you can look up all these books, and then you go through the comment section and go, oh, here's somebody wrote something about that book. Oh, I didn't even know that. Holy crap. So the comment section and the interweb is so awesome, guys. I mean, be careful, because there's a lot of garbage, but you can glean like it's going into a field, and just really, if you knew what to pick, the right fruit, you could get good fruit, man. Be the good fruit. Let people pick you and glean you, and share you and plant the seeds. That's what we do. We're supposed to be, fishers of men. You're out there fishing, casting that net down, and Father does all the separating the wheat from the chaff. We are the ones who go out and give this, why do they have extra fish and extra bread? Be the net, brothers, sisters. Do what you're supposed to be doing right here. Like I said earlier, you can't turn a goat into a sheep. It's not possible. Father already knows who's going to be sheep and who's going to be goats. And the only way you're going to become, or get your name blotted out of the book of life is if you do it by self-will. You did it yourself. You got yourself sent to hell. Father knew you were going to do it, but you did it to yourself. You didn't follow his will. You followed your own will. That's why he said, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. So follow his will. Thy will be done. His will, agape. That's what he said. If you love me, you will do these things. Take up your cross. Be charitable. Be charitable with this word. Go out and share the light. Put it at the top of your house. Let it shine. Not like pride to raise and shine above others. He doesn't like that. That's not what you're doing. Just because you know, don't boast because you know. That's what the scripture tells. Don't boast because you've been shown the narrow way, but woe if you don't. It says, whoa, whoa. Do you want to be on the other end of that? Whoa. Are you hearing me? I don't think I want to be on the other end of that. Whoa. I think when Father says, whoa, that gives me like I stop like a sign dead in my tracks and say, okay, Father, what do you mean? Whoa, if I don't go share this gospel with others, this light. You think you could just sit around Jesus? Whoa. You want to be on the other end of that? Whoa, then just be quiet. Go down into the night like the silent majority. He said he'd come like a thief in the night. I come quickly, let no one take your crowd. You better speak up. Go out and share that gospel, share the light. Say the king's nigh at hand. Hallelujah. All flesh is fulfilled under this covenant. White, black, red, and brown. Jew, Gentile, man, and woman. Hallelujah. Not just the house of, not his favorite, pride. There's no more pride. Father doesn't pride. Remember? No stone to be left upon another. Equal, hados. I am the hados. Equals, hados. In the same narrow way. Same narrow way to lead to that straight gate. It has to equal. It can't be off even a jot. If it doesn't feel right, brothers and sisters, it's not right. If when you use your spiritual calculator, it works exactly like that. You understand? That's exactly how it works. The hados. I am the hados. That's why he told you that. It has to be gone through and it has to equal to. It cannot be even a jot off. Father is perfect. It is not some feel-good Jesus. You'll know when it's right. You'll know. The word is undeniable. That's why I love sticking and I don't go reading into all this other stuff, guys. Seriously, I don't. I used to get all over the place with everything. You just don't do it like it used to. It just seems boring. That's what the word does. Circumcise the outer man, Paul told us. Stop doing these things of this world. So although I could read other things, I love the gospel. I just don't find myself as much in the Old Testament. I still read the Old Testament, but it's not, I love the gospel. I'm super hyper focused on the New Testament. I want to get out of here. The only way to the Father is through the Son. You want to stay here in this dirt and gnash teeth? I want to be with Father. You understand what this 7 shofar, this ram's horn sounds? That's it. That's it. Time will be no more. He puts 1 foot on the land, 1 foot on the sea, and says, you be changed in the twinkling of an eye. Boom. That's it, brothers and sisters. So, are you ready today? So if he doesn't come back for 1,000 years, he says, have your loins girded in my service, have your lamps trimmed and have extra oil. Are you doing these things? When I return, that's it. That's that day. That means when the dead raise from the ashes and the dust. That's the day he's talking about. That's your day. That's your day. That's all of our days, brothers and sisters. There's only one judgment. There's a final 7th shofar. Nobody's died and gone to the sky. Nobody's been judged. Unless you've never sinned in your life and don't have to pass through judgment. And that's what he said. We must be innocent as a child. So he's the one who washes us clean. Yes, he said, have your garments washed clean in the blood of the Lamb. You better get with this gospel, baby. These people go under this other stuff and they're lost, brothers and sisters. This gospel is undeniable. I love this gospel so much and I love sharing it with you, brothers and sisters. I hope you go share it with other people or you're not a disciple. And if this world loves you, then you're on the wrong path, brothers and sisters. Broad is the way that leads to the wide gate. You're not here to be loved, not here to be liked, not here to be nice. You done come into the wrong ministry if you think that's what's going on in this one. We ain't like any other ministry. We're not. There's no other ministry on YouTube like this. There's no other ministry anywhere. Not any other, nowhere. No other continent. Name another ministry that does what we do in here. Celestially, spiritually, biblically, and more important with the gospel. Where else do they do what we're doing? Sharing these same testaments of Christ, sharing these same testaments of Matthew, sharing the same testament of these apostles. You understand? So it's hilarious. These people don't, you can find the gospel. Well, I don't know about that connection. There's only one gospel. You know what I'm saying? There's another gospel, right? That's the other one that's been changed. If you add one single letter, one single jot, that's the other gospel. Paul warned us about that. Paul knew it. Paul's heart was rebuked on the road to Damascus, and he went out and shared that gospel, and they killed him for it, remember? All of the apostles died a martyr's death, but, they stoned him. Remember, they threw him off a cliff backwards. Remember? And he was a Pharisee. He had the garb. he had the guard, brothers and sisters. He can get into the churches, man. He's a Pharisee. He go in there and teach the gospel. They hated him. They hated Paul, man. They tried to kill him. They were chasing him around, guys. They tried to catch up with him, and Paul just kept sharing that gospel, teaching that gospel, the gospel of Christ, that Christ is inside you. Cut off the outer man, circumcise the outer flesh. The kingdom of heaven is within. We must go through much thlipsis to receive that kingdom. That's what Paul was telling us, that circumcision of this law, and that the inner man we have can't sin. That's where he resides, on tables of our hearts. That's in the book of Colossians 2:14, once written on stone. Paul's writings, the gospel, now is sprinkled with that blood of the Lamb that he paid with on fleshy tables, not altars on stone. He blotted all that out, all the laws of flesh. Hallelujah. We are so blessed, brothers and sisters, to be under grace and mercy, salvation, redemption, forgiveness of sin. That's what he covers for. The not our worldly sins, brothers and sisters, the standing up to this apostasy nations, these fees and fines, to standing up for his name, his shed. That's what he covers us for. The people don't stand up, their sins don't get covered. They go to hell, remember? They're already there. That's how it works, brothers and sisters. This beautiful gospel gives us that covering. It is that veil, right? That covers us. It's that armor that he's talking about in Ephesians 6:11. Twice he witnesses it to Christ, tells us to put on the armor. Put on the armor of God, that you be able to stand against the wiles of the demonions. Not devils. Remember, no such thing as a devil. It's demonion. That hits a little different, brothers and sisters, when you say that scripture the proper way. I hope you know. Why don't you try saying that the proper way next time when you read that? It doesn't say that maybe you stand against the wiles of the devil. That doesn't what my script says. My script doesn't say devil. My scripture says demonion. And a demonion was a liar and a distributor of those lies, like the deceiver. And that's what they are. They're demons. They're little g gods, making their own version of the word, gods in the sky, and sensationalizing everything like they do today. And it's been a long way. I'm here to tell you, because I'm an older than dirt. I've been here a long time, brothers and sisters, and I'm telling you, it's always been this way. These traditions, meaning just things that stand over and over, and people do over and over, right? They just can't, they don't change. These are laws of the land, and we're not under the law, but because he fulfilled the law. He didn't abolish the law of flesh. He fulfilled all the laws of flesh and blotted them out. In the book of Colossians 2:14, we see that law is now spiritual, and it's written with the blood of the Lamb. That's why he wants to find our garments washed, white, clean, without blemish. How do you get your garment washed, clean, white with blood? Because it's spiritual suffering. It's spiritual thlipsis. Baptism is tribulation. That's what a baptism is. Baptism is put down in the fire for a long time, like to be refined like gold and silver. To get the excess, to be purified, to burn it off, it has to be put under the heat. That's right. So that's why a lot of people ask me, why don't you read like all the other things? I know you know all these other things. I talk about these things off of this ministry. If you could sit down with me probably personally, I'd have a talk with you about some of these things. But I don't do it here. This is not the place. This is a ministry. I'm not here to coat my own fancy, tickle my own ear, rub myself the right way. I'm here to serve the ministry. Father made this ministry as a ministry. I'm here to fellowship with my brothers that are in the narrow way. So there's only one true gospel of Christ, and that's the one that's unchanged. He said in the book of Revelation, the very last he said, words he left us with in the book of Apocalypse before he went to his father's houses, which was a house of many mansions, right? He's telling us that our body is a temple, right? He was going to prepare that place. Any change to the gospel is the other gospel. So that's why he said, don't add a jot If you add to this text, you will receive of all the written plagues that are in this book. And it's talking about the plagues of Revelation. And you're there now, brothers, sisters. So don't sit there and you're going to think you're going to escape. Revelation 16 and 21, we already saw Honga Tonga pump that, 14% moisture. And we literally have atmospheric rivers pouring down everywhere now. And you are just beginning to see, as it says in Sorrows, you ain't even, the water pouring out on the fish. Oh, you're going to get water. You're not going to flood this rock. That's the promise of the rainbow. This time he's going to use fire. Flood it completely. Tango, stop it. You're fine. You're not going out there. You'll only want back in a minute. You're fine. So try to remember that's exactly what Paul was speaking. And he said, they will come teaching another gospel that I did not, and preaching another Jesus. Another gospel and another Jesus, brothers and sisters. That's what I'm telling you. You cannot tell me that Paul's writings. A lot of people want to leave Paul's writing. You can't take Paul's writings out of the 66 books. No, not out of the 13 new. Heck no. Corinthians, Thessalonians, Colossians, Ephesians. I'll stop there. You can't take that as the gospel. So thank you, Father, through speaking through your apostles, the 13th apostle Paul, and him sharing these books with us so that we can share his words. Paul's words are Christ's words, Father's words. All the apostles spoke. If you don't understand that, then you don't know the gospel either. People can't take that and don't understand that. In Matthew, when he says, take up your cross daily, and Luke, take up who do you think? That's the gospel. That's the gospel. That's what it says. He says, many will come in my Shem, in my name, in my Christ. He says, in my name, Christ, and they shall be deceived. That's exactly right. Many are called, but oligos are chosen. So his bride is set apart. It's a teeny tiny flock. You know what I'm saying? People don't want that. People want to think that God loves everybody. God doesn't love everybody. God only loves his bride. He didn't love the Gentiles, and he only loved his pride. His heavens was Israel, and that was only the ones that were related to Aaron, which was Levitical priests, high priests, Levites. If you weren't related, you were a Gentile, and he didn't love you. You could eat what you want. Didn't care. God didn't care what you did to the land. The law did. You could do whatever you wanted because you were a vessel wrath fitted for destruction from the foundation of the world. That's just the way it is. Father's never just loved everybody. He don't love everybody now because he wants all flesh to be fulfilled, that all flesh would be saved. Saved is sozo, those that endure to the end. But black, white, brown, red, yellow, Jew, Gentile, good, evil, man and woman under this covenant. Remember, a woman couldn't even speak in the church. Now she can. Now she better hold her man to the same covenant. Ladies are not under, when it said be subservient to a man, it meant when it come to the teaching. Like, today, you're supposed to, share with your wife. We're not supposed to celebrate anything, honey. We did these pagan things, but we don't do these anymore. And then she's supposed to be like, well, honey, I thought we were going to, I couldn't go to my Mother's Day thing. And you say we're supposed to go to your mom's because your mom's the one who owns the company and you don't want to lose your job. Fuck you. You're being a hypocrite. I'm going to divorce your ass. You try to throw me under the bus like that. You going to tell me I can't celebrate, and now you want me to go celebrate with your mom? You hold these men to the fire, ladies. You have been equally yoked. When Mary and her sisters declared that Christ is risen, you were given a voice right there. That's why Christ, that is Christ right there speaking through Mary. And I don't idolize Mary like some kind of Catholic pagans do, rosary, but I know what Mary represents. Mary's a whole teaching, brothers and sisters. You need to slow down and stop, just slow down. I was so fast. I wanted to learn it all. I wanted all of it. I wanted to know it all. But I know that I didn't learn much that way. And I learned a lot of things wrong. And I had to go unlearn for more than a decade. It really took me a lot. I did not learn during that decade, but it really took me unlearning and refining and defining. And when I started defining, defining. You know what I'm saying? Then I started understanding that that word started coming to life, because it's a new living will and testament. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's so beautiful that Mary had declared that Christ had risen, and before women didn't. I'm not saying that Ruth and that women aren't powerful in the church, but please, ladies, we are equally yoked to the man, to the woman. There's no superior. It used to be just so that when man used to hold down the fort, no, you would hold down the fort. Ladies, Father put such a huge responsibility in you. You may have never had somebody teach you this, of this Old Testament. When Ahab married Jezebel, this is when the sons of God come into the women and men, traditions of men. This is when Ahab married Jezebel, and she had taught them that Baphomet worship, that Jezebel worship of the sun god birthed in the middle of the winter. Mithra, the sun god Apollyon, and idolatry. Remember, she taught that to the children, and then ended up spreading throughout the northern the 10 tribes. It spread like wildfire. So I want to get rid of this idiot out of here. So this ended up again spreading, and God didn't like that, so he split his kingdom. So if Father doesn't want us to marry somebody and yoke, which I'm saying, to somebody who's unequally yoked, do you understand? That's what that was. Ahab married Jezebel. He followed the Old Testament. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, the Agape, Deuteronomy, 613 law statute. But he married a woman who didn't. And then she taught their children. So ladies, you were given a very big responsibility back then. Although you were supposed to be subservient to the man, it wasn't get me a beer, bitch. That's not what that meant. It meant to the teaching of the Agape. And now that would be this new covenant. So you need to hold your man. Did you realize what I just told you, ladies? Maybe you don't know that. If I have any ladies in the room, you are equally yoked to this man. We are to be equally yoked. Same thing. You hold him to the same standard. He's not subservient in this covenant. Under this covenant, you have been equally yoked. It's very important. And again, that's beautiful how he gave woman a voice, because a woman couldn't even speak in the church. So please speak up, ladies. You're my sisters in Christ. You need to be my mother as your brother is your mother as well, because your brothers and your sisters are your mother. And your mother is that bis, knowledge. That mother is your tree of life. You've got to understand that. That's why you hold people to the fire. Do you understand? So a woman is equally yoked. Understand what I'm teaching you. If you're a lady and you've never been taught this before, you need to know this. When Mary declared Christ had risen, that had not been the thing. Women were not allowed to speak in the church. I think that's so powerful. Thanks for coming in, Nicole. That's so powerful. It was a woman who had declared that he had risen. She has the one who found his neatly folded mask to the resurrection of Christ. Was that Jewish tradition where the Jewish servant would be in the shadows waiting for the master when he was at the table eating, and if he was done, he'd wad his napkin up and throw it on top of his plate. And if not, and he was going to come back, maybe he had a call, or they didn't have phones back then, brothers, sisters. I'm being silly, right? Maybe he had a matter to take care of. Maybe he had a winch that he wanted to finish off or something, whatever. But the master would come back. He'd leave his napkin, like an accordion, is folded neatly, and he would accordion fold style that napkin. And that's how Mary, listen to me, brothers, sisters. That's how Mary had found that veil, because they veiled Christ. That's why the whole face diaper ritual just killed me the whole time, because they put a cover over Christ's face. These people were wearing, they mocked you guys the whole time. You don't realize. I don't know anybody that knows after they hung him on a tree, stuck him, pegged him to a yoke and made him carry, and did what they did. They covered his face with a veil. Okay, they covered his face with a veil. So that is an apocalypse, because that veil was lifted, but then he left that veil, which is the word toxon, or the part of that bow and arrow. That bow is that cover, right? That neatly folded mask. As I sit there during the COVID watching everybody with these stupid blue folded masks on, And I'm going, and I shave my head. I've always shaved my head, but I'm like pulling my freaking hair that I don't have beard hairs, but want to pull the hair that I had out of my head. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, you guys, so under this covenant, please understand, woman was supposed to be subservient like today. If we were under this covenant like today, and it was the Old Testament, it would be like, no, honey, we're not going to that party. We don't celebrate Labor Day. If it's just somebody just celebrating something like, hey, we're just having a good time and hanging out and something not on a calendar day, that's not celebrating. You can have a good time, brothers and sisters, but we don't celebrate days on a calendar. Do you understand? Not one. So if you're celebrating days on a calendar, you're a Satanist. Do you know that? And I'm calling you out. You don't have to like this ministry. You don't have to stay here. Satan is the adversary, and he fulfilled all the laws of celebration, so we don't have to. And you're going to sit there and celebrate? What do you think you're going to get in some, some grace for, so you're going to get in his, you've done iniquity. I don't want to hear it. We've all done iniquity. And if you start celebrating, that's why he told us not to do these things, because we start doing these things again, like we're doing again, just as they did in the past. King Solomon said there's nothing new under the sun. So please understand these things, these traditions. That's why I think it's so beautiful, this, Jewish tradition of this mass neatly folded. When Mary had found that veil, that's why she declared too that Christ had risen, because that is the return of the master. Who's your master? Has anybody ever shared that with you? I didn't share that with anybody during the whole life, the whole COVID, until after the COVID. I shared it here on Predestined for Light. The whole time I'm walking around as a veteran with people walking around with their face diapers on, as a veteran, it just gave me PTSD to see people like, wait a minute, I thought I wore a mask, so you didn't have to wear a mask. What the hell is this all about? Only women cover their faces. Why are you partaking in this masquerade? Don't you know when they cover their faces at those sex parties that that's what they are at their, haven't you ever seen that show with Tom Cruise, whatever that movie was, when they put on their little mask so they can have sex with each other and act like they don't know who they are so they can have their orgies. That's why they mask each other up like that. Yeah, that's why they masked you too. They put a veil over Christ's face. That's called the apocalypse, brothers and sisters, when you lift that veil off. That's the word apocalypse. Do you understand? There you go. So I hope you understand, ladies, you are equally yoked on this covenant. No man has anything over you. And the only thing he ever had over you in the past was when it came to the teaching of the Agape. And now you're under this new covenant, so you're equally yoked. Same thing. So do not think that, a man is going to ever be able to tell you you should be a team. And if you're equally yoked, it should be a beautiful covenant. He'll cover you. He's the tie that binds two people together. I don't care if there's a distance between the two of you and how long it is. He is the tie that binds, and he is that bridge between the gap, that no distance. He fills that gap every single time. It did work in the past too, brothers and sisters. If you listen to what I'm telling you, that's why God doesn't want us to yoke. He married an unequally yoked woman. They used to go off to work and war for long periods of time. They had to put the trust that woman wasn't going to be coveted by some other man's riches, right? And all these things, that she would be there because she was equally yoked to that man. He had taught her the agape, and she was subservient, and she taught that to the children, and it was a strong bound by the book of Deuteronomy. This is in the book of Deuteronomy. You understand? It's all in the Old Testament, book of Deuteronomy. Now we have Paul's writings in the gospel. We have Corinthians. There's Corinthians that you'll find this. That talks about how a woman and how a man are, under this new covenant, how we're both equally yoked. It says that it's under this covenant. So please, ladies, I don't care about these men. I love them, but they're a bunch of Jezebels. The men of America have just lost their minds. I'm not saying that I don't have, want to show them to the narrow way, but they don't care about the ladies. They're going to draft women in America. So there's no men that care about the ladies of America. They don't. I don't see any men in America that care about the ladies of this country. I think a lot of ladies have had to step up because men act like Jezebels and they don't act like men anymore. Like the men of America should have stood up during the COVID just for the rights, not with violence, with, you know, peaceful defiance. Peaceful defiance. I'm not calling for protest people being violent. So it normally doesn't take a large percentage of a populace, brothers, sisters, to make the greatest changes. It hasn't actually throughout history. It is the smallest number of throughout history that have made the greatest changes. So sometimes it's, what is that, 2-3%, something like that, 3.5%, doesn't take much that can make massive changes throughout history. So people think it takes a big, huge numbers. No, it doesn't. When people come together, it's like two matches, in one match in a 10x10 room. When you strike it, you can kind of see the walls, but you can't see the outer walls, it's going. You light a second match, boy, when those two light together, boy, you can start to make out that outside, you light it. Light drowns out darkness, brother, sister. Don't you understand that? It does it every day, remember? It's dark at night every morning, right? AM, the sun comes up and drowns out the dark. The battle of dark, light, day and night, every day. Here we go, back and forth. Well, the light always drowns out the dark. It's much easier to drown out darkness with light than it is vice versa, brothers, sisters. People don't realize that, but that's just the way it works. That's why the light is so powerful. That's why he said to be that light. Put that light at the top of your house. Let it shine. It's in his word. It's not me. It's the word. Okay. It's the word. Well, that sounds pretty good right now. I'll take one of those connection. I'll have one of those. I want some fruit. They make me want to eat some fruit. So, all right, we better get this bad boy ended here. I better finish her up. So, yeah, maybe we'll do that. We'll shut her down. I'll eat some fruit. Well, I got something over there. Oh, I got an apple or something. Come on, boys. So proud of you, butts. Stoners talking about fruit make me want some fruit. Man, I can't wait to get down to Ecuador. Will I ever make it to Ecuador, guys? Will Pastor make it to Ecuador or not? Huh? It's in God's hands. It's in Father's hands. Thy kingdom come, Father's will be done. It's a non-genetically modified apple. It's all huge and all waxy. Mm-hmm. A good apple. Like the Fiji apples. The This one's good. Pretty sweet. These red apples aren't super sweet, you know, they're just kind of, they're good, but this one's pretty sweet. Uh-oh, maybe it is genetically modified. The label don't matter anymore, remember? They've taken things back to the lab that says non-genetically modified on it, and it's genetically modified. It's got genetically modified. Oh, now they got that thing too. I guess got like 2 or more genetically modified ingredients on it because they don't want to list them all. You got to cook a QR code or something like that. Like, who has enough time when they're out shopping? You got an armload full of kids, one in the basket, one in your arm, to be reading ingredients and doing the QR code. So, who knows? The only way is to grow it yourself, brothers and sisters. The only way. Grow it yourself. Going to Ecuador. Going to Ecuador. I want some of that self-reliance economy. I want that sun to rock me down there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If you know anything about the South Atlantic anomaly, man, that place is getting hammered. And so I'm going there. Mm-hmm. Remember I told you better listen to me right now. I told my son this 20 years ago. There'll be good energy and bad energy coming from the sun. And if you don't know how to filter off that bad energy, you're going to be in a hard way. This is part of Revelation. It talks about men getting boils on their skin. You're not going to be able to go outside. It's going to be like a microwave, brothers and sisters. Mm-hmm. 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 So I hope you're ready. Because there'll be good energy coming from the sun as well. Good and bad. Oh boy. You're going to be lit like a Christmas tree there, Connection. Look, it's a real apple. It's already turning brown. It's already turning brown before I can finish it. I know it's real. Those genetically modified, they don't ever turn brown. Those stay white. I've had some, but I don't eat as much fruit as I used to because I know they started making it all genetically modified. Well, even before I finish eating it, so. That's what I know about those apples. I see them, take a couple bites, and man, just let them sit there, and they don't brown out, you know. I don't root for death, man. They're both dead wrong. But America's 100% responsible because they're the ones paying NATO and they're the ones doing it. So it's America. So you can say the war in the 51st state of America, Ukraine. Talk about making Canada the 51st state. No, Ukraine is the 51st state of America. So America versus Russia, Russia. And I live in America. Can't. I can't. You can. War doesn't decide who's right. War decides who's left. Yeah, it doesn't decide who's right. It only decides who's left. And the politicians are still alive at the end. They just send the 18 to 30, the finest of the finest nations, to put them in the meat grinder. In Ukraine, it was the women and the men in Ukraine. So. And the U.S. tax dollar, taxpayer is the person who paid to kill all those people over there in Ukraine. They're responsible. They will. When God places judgments on them, he'll say, you paid for that death. I don't care if you physically went over there and killed him. It was your dollars that did it. I told you don't participate in the corporation. Come out of her, my people. He stood up to the corporation. The halakha's mandate, code, ordinance, anything that's repugnant, that's not adjudicated. The God-given organic natural rights. The Constitution was put there to protect the inalienable right of the people. The federal government was not there to make laws. They were there to protect those rights. Fuck the federal government. Fuck these states. Fuck all this bullshit. It's all that corporation now. It's a corporation. So not even supposed to be doing and participating in this shit. And so you pay those W-2 tax dollars and you paid for death. You'll see when you face judgments, you'll see I'm not wrong. You don't stand up against this fucking corporation. You're not a disciple and you're not Christ-like. They killed him for standing up to what was the corporation. Remember, they had made it where you couldn't go glean in the fields. It means you couldn't take anything when you left, but you can eat what you wanted and walk out of the field. They made it to where all the poor, if it came off, it fell off the back of the cart during harvest, you left it on the ground for the poor. You know what I'm saying? If you could have any kind of positive words towards Ukraine, what kind would you tell Ukrainians in Ukraine? Put back in the elected fucking president and kick America out of there. Kick America out of there. Kick NATO out of there. Don't join NATO and stop fighting America's war. Stop being the servant for America. We want, remember all those labs over there they found in Ukraine that were ours, those chemical labs funded by America? So, sucks because most Ukrainians speak Russian. It's like Americans in California fighting people from New York. They're so stupid in America. So, Ukraine was the breadbasket of Europe. Now they've just gone in and destroyed that country. In 4 years, they unalived a whole Ukrainian generation, brothers and sisters, with the American tax dollars, the one who paid for it. I don't want to hear that shit. Fucking, we got not boots on the ground, but we got guys in the air now. No more fucking drones. We put guys in those fucking in the air support. Remember, we paid for it was our satellites that got that fucking launch into Moscow. This is bullshit. We're so knee deep over there. This is like Vietnam with advisors. Bullshit. There's fucking, you could go years ago. There's hardly any Ukrainians even speaking on the front line years ago. You ain't finding hardly anybody. Do you know how many other nations are involved in Ukraine, brothers and sisters? This is a world war. You can find me blogging 10 years ago. I was blogging In 2014, I was blogging about what the fuck they were doing in Ukraine on this platform, about them going in there and over fucking throwing legally elected government, putting in Poroshenko, the chocolate king, and Kiev breaking the fucking Minsk agreement. Dude, I've been doing this a long time, guys. You guys are thinking that this shit in Ukraine just happened yesterday? We've been over there for. Do you know how much the Bidens and the Clintons and the Trumps and all these people have made so much money on Ukraine? It's sickening. And fucking Putin's in on it too. Don't believe for a second that Putin ain't in on it. Putin's in on it too. Bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Putin's in on it too. These people are all in on it. Putin's just as evil as Donald Trump. You guys seen them go do their shake hands bullshit? Now they're fucking warring still. Bullshit. Two wings to the same dragon. Donald Trump is Vladimir Putin. And I don't hear this Russia bullshit. Shut the fuck up. Don't ever say that in here. Never say Russia 3 times. Can't stand that. I want to smack the Old Testament off somebody like that. I do. Shut up, you coin. 2 sides of the same coin, you idiot. You're getting played like a token. You've been tokenized like a Chuck E. Cheese. Put a little skee ball. I'm going to throw the fucking balls in the hole. I'm take you put your little square peg in somebody else's round hole, okay? It's evil, man. You guys don't understand. Ukraine used to be part of fucking Russia. Most people in fucking Russia and Ukraine speak Russian. I know they've been given their independence, but they didn't want to fight fucking Russia. Most people don't want to be fighting Russia. Like I said, most people in Ukraine speak Russian. It's a big fucking scam. And people die. And the politicians keep getting richer, and they just keep grinding up more of their eugenics program, and it's working out perfect for them because they're going to go where they want. Look at Trump said, you're going to do this, and you're going to do this, and you're going to do this, and it's going to be over. Pretty much giving Putin all the fucking land that he's in now. So, and it's all, oh, we'll make a fucking deal with you if you give U.S. the minerals. The fuck does U.S. get the minerals for? Remember, he just made a deal with Putin and gave him fucking sold him shit in Russia, sold him minerals in Russia. Putin's got his foot back in the door in Alaska. Nailed it. Nailed it. How long have I been telling you that? I was the only one fucking saying that on this platform. For how long now? God damn it, I did time in the military and was up in Alaska, did a lot of training. That's right. So why would he not fucking take back over Russia or Alaska? Look, I'm even slipping up. You don't think he wants back on this continent? Yes, the fuck he does. So it's kind of silly to sit there and watch all this shit that I say come to pass. Some things take years, some things don't take that long, but they eventually come to pass. I said the war would start, the World War III would start in Ukraine. I went back and looked through my videos on Truth Bio Television, warning to this, saying that this is where the war starts. And I wasn't wrong, because it's been going on, and that's where that old shit, I'm not saying, that's what all this flare up. And we've been in wars before, I'm not just saying, but this World War III is where it started. All over fucking minerals and oil and Putin, and this shit's all stupid. We don't need natural gas. We don't need fucking oil. We don't need none of this shit. We could have free energy. They're coming out. Toyota came out with this fucking hydrogen motor and all that. Dude, they've been stroking everybody for a fucking 100+ years with Henry Ford and combustion engines. Bullshit. Where do you think your license came from? That's painting all the fucking cars black. So you got the fucking, have a license on. These fuckers are so controlling you. The banksters have been controlling this since the 1800s. Jekyll Island. Yeah. Remember, it was J.P. Chase that bailed this fucking country out before we even ever had our first, collapse there, right? Mm-hmm. And they set up this gold standard, Bretton Woods agreement, taking us off this fucking bimetallic standards because silver and gold compete with each other and they can't control two, but they can control the gold standard. You fucking people are so lame. They've been degrading this country since the 1800s. And it's not a country, it's a corporation. There's something in my tooth. There's an outline here. So, it's not a constitutional republic. It's an apostasy, and it's a murderous nation, and now they're just kidnapping their own citizens. It's not people that are from other countries now. They're literally kidnapping people, right? Americans right off the streets. People that are just don't have quite enough money. Fuck you. If you resist, we'll fucking deport you. Put you in another prison. They were getting all this ready by getting all these prisons emptied out down in South America. Dude, they're doing this, brothers, sisters. And what they're actually doing is, if you read what it said at the beginning, we're in the 6th extinction event, so you know. So will you survive the 6th extinction event? Will you be one of those people that actually survives, or you will be one of these people who dies off? Doesn't mean all of us are going to die, because guess what? We're still here. Tomatoes, again, are still here, right? They got butterflies and carrots. Remember? Dangle the carrot in front of their face. Giraffes. Holy shit. Giraffes made it through the last 5 extinction events. Yep. Yeah, we've got monkeys too. People act like a fucking bunch of monkeys. The STFU generation, silent majority. They invoked their right to speak up, and they had it. They could have used it. The First Amendment. Congress shall establish no law prohibiting the exercise of free speech and of the press. So, Christopher, only Congress can make tariffs. Presidents don't make tariffs. Presidents don't make executive orders. Donald Trump is an enemy of the state and a tyrant. He is. He's going against the constitutional republic, but they don't give a fuck. Nobody does. Congress hasn't done shit in fucking decades. Nothing. We ain't seen them do shit. Oh, I'm getting up, guys. Hold on. Dad's getting up. Hold on. Hold on. Easy. Thank you. You guys are my best guys. You guys are my best puppies that I ever did best. Oh. How we doing there, Lady in Red? We were having us a discussion about this. We just let it fly in. Darn it. Every war outside of our country has always started with a tariff, an embargo, or a sanction. Every war that we've ever been involved in. So wars don't start with bombs falling. People, and we're here. They go, oh, the war started. No, the war started. Donald Trump started tariffing China during his 45th administration. Remember? So this has been going on for, this isn't new news. So this is just how we roll in this country. We just tariff everybody now. Remember? Either play or pay. Pay or play. Oh. Yeah. You got a cute kitty. So pretty amazing that we can be in this extinction event and everybody's so, enamorized by all these, worldly things. They don't see they should be getting ready to, things are deteriorating around you. The weather is not normal anywhere. You know what I'm saying? The weather is not. Where's the weather? Where's our normal weather pattern? On which continent is the weather? Is the weather normal in your neighborhood? Like what it's been. I mean, not normal, like 70 and sunny. Is it the normal pattern that you've been in? Are you seeing a shift? So we've seen a major shift in our upper jet streams because of our magnetosphere. So, I haven't talked too much about our magnetosphere on this, but that's what they know. This is what the government's not telling you, that the magnetosphere has failed. You don't see northern lights, because that's where you normally see aurora borealis in the north, up in the Antarctic, or up in the Arctic up in the north. That's where all the energy comes in. So you don't see it down at the equator. And now we're starting to get these equatorial and auroras at the equator when we're not even having the energy to be producing this kind of energy to come in. And like a Carrington type event that started the magnetics to the polar wander, right? The polarity, not the poles, the polarity started to wander away from the the magnetic north. Started migrating to the west and then turned around and flipped around, started going back the way. It's been doing that since 1859. But that was because we got hit by a massive X flare and they saw auroras at the equatorial regions. Now we're not even getting X flares and we're seeing auroras, down at equatorial regions. That's because we have a failed magnetosphere. And that's why the government's been digging in since the 80s. Stealing your tax dollars and boring in, just like Elon Musk's boring company, using nuclear fusion, literally taking and fusing the dirt together and all the rock and all that, and glassing whole inner, making literally like a glass tube down there. He's a glass hole. Elon, stinky glass hole. Mr. Muskrat is a stinky glass hole with his as is above Starlink satellite and his super dome, as is above, so is below. Trump millimeter waves, right? 60 millimeter wave concentration, 15-minute camps, and stinky muskrat holes. They think they're going to make it through whatever, and all the people on the surface are going to get crushed. And they know that by the sun, because there is massive chasms where they've gone under the ground before from these cycles. You think this is the first time we've been in a cycle like this? No. That's the problem with people. And they know that. They are privileged information. They have all the information and you don't. They keep it from you. Why do you think they're holding all that stuff at the Vatican? So they don't want you to know what cycles are. They want you to celebrate your Christmas and your New Year's and your Labor Day and your Martin Luther King Day and all your holidays that you're not supposed to be celebrating. You just forget about everything because you give enough bread and circus and you'll never revolt. You'll never stand up. You'll never see it coming. And by the time it happens, it'll be too late. And they'll already be, look, all these people, like, let's just say, and I'm not saying the world's going to come to end tomorrow, right? If they knew the end was coming, why the fuck are they all digging in the ground if they thought they could get the fuck out of here? Mr. Muskrat's going to go to Mars, right? Mr. Stinky Muskrat, we're going to Mars. Why haven't we colonized the moon? Shut up. Why haven't we seen the dark side of the moon? Why do we only see one side of the lunar phase? But anyways, we haven't even gone. We haven't even gone to the moon. We're going to go to Mars. They would have already left. The magnetosphere has already failed, so they're doing what they can. That's why they have these deep underground military bases, and they're stocking. And we have these seed vaults where they're putting all the seeds and getting everything ready. And they've been doing this again. All these people hear all these booms and bangs and think all these whistles and stuff, and that's them under the ground. That is them under the ground, because people they can't figure out where they're hearing it from. They think that it's coming from below your feet, and because it's a hum or it's these boring machines. Depends on what kind of material it's fusing together. It's going to make a different sound. Screeching and whining and almost like a trumpet sound. These are these machines underneath your feet. These go, oh my God, we're hearing shit. No, you're not. You're hearing those boring machines under your feet. Remember all these people who hear this shit in the air? What do you think that is? That grinding, that trumpeting sound? That too, because they're going right through fault lines and shit. They're not even caring. They're just crazy. These people are lunatics, guys. I mean, come on. They've got what? Colorado? What what they got in Colorado, right? They got the whole underground thing underneath the airport. They got NORAD. They got. This is not new news. They have had chasms for thousands of years, dug out underground cities. The Hopi dug out little like 10-story buildings and stuff, underground. The ant people, they're not ants. The fact that the ants dig into the ground like an ant and build colonies in the ground. Oh, there's lizard people coming out of the ground. There's no lizard people. Shut the fuck up. There's no shapeshifters. There's no aliens. There's no big feet. Stop it. You take everything and turn it into something that's not. So, whatever, I'm going to reveal it to you. Give it to you straight. And you don't have to listen to it. You can just leave. But I'm tired of people thinking that, all these noises are something that as they're sitting there preparing this whole underground, there's people, how many millions of people live under the fucking ground? Millions of people live under the ground in cities. You just don't know, but there a lot of places have cities underneath the cities here in America, and they shut them off to the public. But you don't think there's people living in these cities? Where do you think all these homeless people are going to, by the way? I've been telling everybody that for, 10 years on this platform, at least. They're taking all these homeless and they're bringing them into these, if you want to keep something running, you have to do preventive maintenance on it. So if you wanted these things up and running, you take the homeless and give them a life down there. But you don't see these people. They just disappear. So not everybody, they're not whacking everybody. You know what I'm saying? That is something, there's no such thing as a globe, but we'll use the term. Sure, it's in all these countries. Go look up underground cities. Jace, is that Jace? And look, you'll see there's some beautiful underground chasms. They're just gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? They're just amazing. People have been doing this to get away from the cycle of the sun. Why do you think we're still here? So they know these cycles are coming, and they're getting out of the way of it. They're doing what anybody would do. You dig in. It's a whole lot easier to build a castle under the ground than it is to build one above ground. So there are literally people that have been living underground that you just don't hear about it. Out of sight, out of mind. But it doesn't mean that there are people who do not live in underground cities and networks. People be taken down into these cities and they live down there. That's what I'm saying. I know that sounds kind of nutty, but how do you want to keep something running? You're going to take these people and offer them food or whatever, take them out of the cities, and you live that life down there. So it doesn't, you got to kind of think of it that way, but some of these cities are massive. They're not like you would think. They're literal cities that are underneath the ground, but you live up here. You're a surface dweller. I'm never going underground. Never, never, never will I go underground. I have an underground shelter, 28 feet, but I'm not going to go live under the ground. I have the shelter to get away from hailstones and weather, but I ain't living down there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's so many places. I mean, just look it up. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they've been preparing this, I'm saying, since the 80s. The government it's called continuity of government, brothers and sisters. No matter what, they're going to save the government. They're probably not going to save you. We've seen how that works. FEMA and all this, they're not going to save you, but there's something called continuity of government. And they have been putting these deep underground military bases and boring out they were connecting, this has been happening for a long time. And there are places before any of us ever got here that have been here for thousands of years already, that they got away from the cycles. That's what a lot of these things that you go into caves, they're showing you the images of these connections, of these electrical connections of our stars up there that start, arcing and connecting to other stars. You start seeing these things like sprites and things, but this is part of this, what do they call that guy? Enderman or something like that. I think that's a game. Maybe it's not. But it's a connection that's up in our celestial firmament where you start seeing our stars connecting electrically, and it will eventually arc discharge onto this rock too. So that's a lot of what these petroglyphs are that you're seeing. When they would go outside, they would look out there. That's what they would see. That's what a lot of these images that you're seeing on these petroglyphs are. So these are these same cycles, though, brothers, sisters. So I was speaking of these extinction events. They're ready. I'm just letting you know. The government is ready. Don't fool yourself. They've been ready for some time. So they're just waiting for the sun to do its thing. There's going to come a day we're not going to be able to talk on this internet anymore, brothers, sisters. And that doesn't mean the internet's going to go down completely. For them, they'll have an internet. And they'll bring the internet probably back up, but it won't be for quite some time. And if they do, they'll probably pull it back and forth from you and like a carrot, dangle it out there and pull it away and kind of make it to where they can lead you into so that's, yeah, you don't have to go that far down, Jack Black. I have a shelter down here. It's 28 feet down, and it's, you know, I don't even have all the doors on it and stuff, and it still keeps good temperature, you know. So core temperature of this rock is about 55 to 62 degrees. So pretty nice. That's why I've been trying to get people to live like that, man. For 10 years, I purchased this property to try to get people to learn how to live under the ground. Not live under the ground, get a place under the ground and learn and come up at the top and, you know, have a light. But you know what I'm saying? Not, you know, live under the ground. Fuck that. I don't want to live down there. I want to have a surface. But when I go down there, when it's 120 degrees, it's 62 degrees. In the shelter, it's 62 degrees down there, you know, and it's 40 below, it's 60 degrees down there. You know, it keeps a core temperature because it's below the frost line. So it doesn't make any sense to live up on the surface. Not that you can't still have a cabin on top or a house on top, but you need something down below that frost line. It just doesn't make any sense for us to sit there and pay heating and cooling, right? But we do. Stupid, but we do. But that's what I've done out here. I've actually dug out a 50-foot by 12-foot by 12-foot hole that I'm planning on building a complete underground house, you know, where I can go down there at any time and it's 62 degrees. Feel like a stinking morgue when it's 120 degrees. You go down there at 62 degrees. You're like, oh, whoo, I think I can almost see my breath in here. Woo! So, yeah, I mean, then you can bring your food storage down there because it doesn't get hot and cold like in a desert. You know, it's going to get hot and cool. You know, there's just a lot of advantages of having, you know, a place to get away from the weather. You know, when it's hot, you can go down there. It's not hot. When it's cold, it's not cold. You know, so when things get really cold, you're going to need a place, brothers, sisters. You know what I'm saying? You're going to need a place. Listen, people have survived through the winters by going under the ground. Listen to me, brothers, sisters. They know that's coming too. That's okay. Look, that's it. We are eventually going to hit a solar minima grand to where that we get no more energy from the sun, or we get blotted out by a volcano. We just had an 8.8 or an 8 point, you know, up the Chautauqua Peninsula up there. Brothers, sisters, it's going to happen. They've been getting ready. Juan de Fuca's already going off right now. We've had Rainier. It's happening. It's happening. And we've always had volcanism, but this ring of fire is about ready to pop. And when it does that, it's going to blot out the sun. And it's going to get cold. And we're not going to have, you know, we are going into, we're probably maybe one more year of solar maximum on the solar cycle 25. I don't know how much you pay attention to these solar cycles or what you know about what's going on, but we're in solar cycle 25. Now we've had a little bit of an increase, and that's good. That might help expand a little bit of our atmosphere, but I don't think so. I think it's actually melted away more of our magnetosphere. And the sun's still white, so I don't think anything's changed. And the sun is hotter than hell. I mean, it was 70 degrees out here today before it got hot, and I was standing out in that sun. I'm like, damn it. That feels like somebody, like, you know, I felt that on my back. I was like, that is crazy hot today. You know, it just felt extra hot. So that's because that magnetosphere is weakened. So again, you know, pay attention. They're getting ready for this. When one of these volcanoes goes off, that sends us into what is called a nuclear winter. it blots out the sun, and we go straight into a solar, a grand solar minimum. Okay, so we are about one more year of solar cycle 25, and we're going to go back. See, it goes solar maximum up for about 5.9 years, and then comes back down on a normal 12-year cycle. Well, we're already seeing, we're in this increase. That's why we were seeing auroras this year and stuff. It was, it's been a pretty wild year, but we got about maybe another year, and then we're going to start coming back down. So I think we're getting close. It could happen now. It could happen between here and a year, but it will start tipping back down. Okay. And we're not going to see another solar maximum for another 5 or 6 years, possibly 8 years, brothers and sisters. So, we need to see what turns. There's no rocks coming. That's such a bunch of made up bullshit. There's no rocks coming. There's no rocks coming here. Don't fall for that nonsense. Please don't fall for their bullshit in the skies. Visual and verbal voodoo, lies to the skies, lies to your eyes in the skies. I'm a magi. You know what a magi? Well, they're gonna do it, huh? They're gonna pull this shit off. I love what they're doing. I love what it tells me we're right here, brothers and sisters. We're so close. Them doing this fake alien invasion. There ain't no fucking there ain't no aliens. Alien is a word. Alien is a word. It isn't anything other than a word. But people have made up all these gods in the sky, balls in the sky, whatever. Let the world do the world. And I'm just going to keep doing me, and people can just keep falling for this nonsense. So, but either way, brothers and sisters, this is happening. This is something that has been in effect since the 1800s, this weakened magnetosphere. And we're in the 6th extinction event right now. So this isn't new news. Yeah, it's so obvious, like I said, that it just... I'm like, Father, just please keep these people in the world, right? No, keep them in the Word. Please, Father, don't let them fall for this world, because this world is going to trick them, and they're going to pull all these stunts with these people. They love playing with their eyes. And he warns us about idolatry and imagery. Imagery is things you see, and idolatry is things you see of the dirt. Little things and big things. Little idols and tall things you see and things you see. Idolatry and imagery. And he said he would send 2 witnesses. It's this one right here, and that hangs right here, and this one on this cross right there that's going to steal your crown. Careful about what you see, brothers and sisters. This world is getting very hard to tell with this AI. And I don't do antichrist idiot nonsense. It's advanced intelligence. It's not artificial. There's no such thing as artificial intelligence. There's no such thing as global warming. You just keep letting them move the fucking goalpost, and it's Agenda 2021, sustainable development for the 21st century, and it's never going to be 2030. I don't care if they keep moving it. You keep letting them fucking move this shit on you, but you keep forgetting how they built their base. So they keep building, and you just keep letting them do it, though. And you fall for the bullshit around you. So remember when I was a kid, it's chlorofluorocarbons. You couldn't use fucking hairspray. We're all going to die. Don't use styrofoam. Now it's CO2. That's the smallest trace gas of all the fucking gases in the atmosphere. Are you telling me we're all going to die because the CO2 is plant food? It's fucking... I'm a cannabis grower. Go fuck yourself. You ever grown a garden? You put more CO2 in it, you're going to get bigger fruit, bigger flowers. You're a fucking idiot. It's going to get greener. They get rid of CO2, they get rid of you. You're a fucking idiot. See, that's what I'm saying, brothers and sisters. This is they already just whacking people right now. People are gone. They don't even... How many people on this rock think that right now know this is the 6th extinction event? How long have we been in the 6th extinction event? Let me ask you that in the room. I can't stay in here too much longer because I got a lot to do tomorrow. I've got trailer loads of stuff. I got to move 2 garages. So how long have we been in the 6th extinction event? Guess what? We're in the 6th extinction event right now. Right about. So look at that. You already made it almost 5 years into the 6th extinction event. You thought we were all going to fucking die, didn't you? Oh, extinction. It means things die down. Remember, we still have potatoes and carrots and peas and rabbits and monkeys and lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, we got all these things that they made it through the last 5 that are still here. So are you going to make it through this one? Probably not. I don't think many humans are going to make it through this one. Will we survive through this extinction? Absolutely. Fuck yes, we will. I know we will. We're like cockroaches. We're hard to get rid of. They spray us, fluoridate us, chloridate us, fucking wax our mind, and we're still just up here. It's hard to believe that you can't get rid of us. Some of us are just so. But anyways, will we make it? Yes. Will most people make it? No. I think this will be a massive die off, not completely. Not an extinction event doesn't things means they die off completely, right? No, see, that's what I'm not. No, they die down. This makes evolution. This sparks what's called evolution. Not like, oh, you're going to grow a new thumb. This makes new species pop up in these type of events. You'll see it's going to happen. We'll see new, and they're already doing this anyways. They started wilding the Pleistocene era animals. Pleistocene era, brothers, sisters, come on. They're like woolly mammoths and shit like that. It's going to get crazy. And it's going to get crazy really fast. It is. It's going to happen really fast because once they release this fake robot bullshit, alien invasion, and they got robots running around every fucking where, people are just going to go along with it. It'll be no different than COVID. You won't even fight it. None of you will fucking fight it because these robots will kick your fucking ass. And they know what the fuck you're thinking. They got all your metadata. They scan your fucking eyes. They know what you're thinking. You put it all into the system, dumbass. You did it to yourself. They got pictures of me jerking off on Pornhub too, dumbass. They got all your fun pictures. Whatever silly faces you make. They got it all. You think that camera doesn't watch you and listen to you? I don't care if it's got a fucking battery in it. Why do you think they made it so you can't take the battery off the back of the camera or the phone? Because it's always recording you. I don't care. They showed a thing the other day. I was watching about how they were tracking a phone that was in airplane mode. It tracked everything. It knew every fucking thing about this person. And they left it in their fucking thing the whole time. So they got us, brothers, sisters. They got dirt on every one of us. Not one of us is some kind of fucking, you know what I'm saying? Well, we are servants, but we're filthy rags. So none of us, I don't think any would make it past their robot sniff test where the AI makes the decision. And that's where they're going with this, whether you like it or not. It doesn't mean they're alive, but this is what they're going to be. The greatest way to whack off a big chunk of civilization is convince everybody that it's Terminator the movie. I'm sure they've done others, and that the robots are alive and they got feelings, and now we're going to give them rights, and now they're whacking people, and I don't know if they're the Boston Dynamic robots or if they're Elon Musk warehouse robots or if they're China's robots or now they got robot wars. They got robot wars in the skies. Dude, it's going to get so freaking over the top so fast. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Watch. It is, guys. It is. I just see it. This is the next false flag. I've been calling everything. I've been calling this, guys. If you've been following this channel, you'd say, hey, you might listen to this pastor. He's really, he don't get it everything exactly, but boy, he can see what they're doing because he follows the paperwork. He doesn't make predictions. He shows you what's coming because they do this by the script. They do it in a timeline. So everything they've ever showed us in movies, guys, is about this time. You'll see what I'm saying. And I don't watch movies, but I see some blogs and stuff. So I'm just going with one. What I remember growing up when I was younger is that they've already shown us that this, John Connor is representing Jesus Christ in Scripture. Going back and go watch it again, and you'll see. I told you they put the Scripture in everything. It's in everything. So be ready for that because you're not going to be able to. I almost think it's like this, brothers, sisters. I've talked about this before. You guys ever remember seeing any of these movies where If you acknowledge it's there, it'll attack you. Like it can sense your heartbeat, right? If you acknowledge it, right, it knows that you're there. But if you ignore it and you don't have it just will go right over you. I think that's how we're going to have to get, brothers, sisters. And I think the only thing that's going to protect you is the word of Father. That's it. There's going to be no other protection, brothers, sisters. I'm serious. I don't want to. I've had this for 30 years, guys. I knew there's time where it was going to come where Paul said, put on the armor of God. I knew what he was talking about in Ephesians. And I knew that there's going to come a time where this, AI Antichrist will be AI. And remember, it's not real because there's no physical Antichrist, but they're going to make an AI Antichrist. And it's going to be a fucking robot, brothers, sisters. Your AI Antichrist is going to be C-3PO, some golden fucking dragon. Watch. Looking like a man, because they need to upload their conscience to these machines so they can make it through this next period, because they know they're not getting a new body, like I've been trying to teach you on this ministry. And there's no determined amount of time before that little season starts. That little season starts, brothers, sisters, where we get our flesh back, but they go to the pit where they don't get a body. Right? They stay in that teeth gnashing body in the dirt, and we go get to be with Father, and we're raised and resurrected without our bodies to be with Father, because he's from above. Without flesh, you can't go to be with Father. We sin in this skin. We got to get rid of the skin. You want to go be with Father, you can't go drag this flesh up there, right? Up there is not in the sky. It's that heavenly place in your head, right? You put him at the top of your house, you let him shine. He's the high priest of the temple. Your body's the temple. He is the head. We are the body. It's in his word, brothers, sisters. So these people think that they can. Why do you think Elon's uploading your conscience to the Starlink, to the interweb? Because they know there's this time in Scripture, brothers, sisters. As I told you, these people, these elitists know this Scripture better than all of us here combined. They really do. I've studied for 3 decades, the hardcore. I like a maniac. And I've come to these conclusions through investigation process, through the scientific theory, a lot of different methods that I've applied. I'm a traffic crash reconstructionist. I was an investigator. I was certified at the age of 19 as an investigator. So my brain is wired. People are like, what's wrong with this guy? Your brain's wired one way. Mine is wired completely backwards, Yeah, you two lies are the craziest. Yeah. You're the craziest for standing around and not saying anything. It's the funniest thing is you come in here and think people are crazy, but you stand around, you probably don't even have a fucking water filter. You're the crazy one, just so you know. Do you own one of these? If not, you the craziest motherfucker on your block. You know that? Or you're going to go crazy because you ain't got no fucking water, and you're going to kill somebody because you didn't have anything, and all you could do is open up your mouth and say something's crazy instead of actually doing something about it. So he said he'd send 2 witnesses. Go somewhere else. Grow the fuck up. Seriously. There's some serious shit going on in this world, and this is the craziest lies. Yeah, this is a truth live. You think this is crazy? Wait till you see what the fuck's coming. People like this ain't gonna last a second, brothers, sisters. They ain't even prepared for shit. Although they got programmed by their movies the whole fucking time. That's why they did it, to soften the blow. They'll just, fucking zombies, man. Living fucking zombies. Brains. Yeah, because they ain't got none. Like the fucking scarecrow, the straw man. So, anyways, this is where it's going. They wouldn't be building all these robots for nothing. They wouldn't be showing us all these robots for nothing. It's just going to take one false flag robot event, and the government can fucking lock us all down again. So are you where you want to be? We're one robot false flag event away from aliens and gods in the sky, right? Good ones and bad ones. There's good robots. There's bad robots. There's these ones are alive. These ones are come on. Wall-E. Number 5, alive. They've been programming you since you're... Yeah. So... Are you ready for this? Are you ready for robots to be walking around the streets? They're just putting fucking military in the streets and nobody cares. So I don't think any of you care. I think we go into this fucking, utopia fucking world where it's all a bunch of robots. Bunch of DARPA's, Boston Dynamic, police telling people what the fuck to do and people just listening, people going along with it. Yep. Johnny 5. So I don't know, brothers, sisters. This is what I see because this is what they're showing you. So I don't make guesses. Okay. I'm not guessing at this. You'll see when this happens. And I've nailed in the last couple, 2 years, 3 years, everything that I've said has come to pass. And it's like, I'm the only one talking about this 923 ritual. So remember, listen to me, guys, come on. I got to go after this. Hitler was given space fucking fallen angel technology. You guys are so fucking stupid that you don't listen to me. And you're not stupid. I apologize. You're not. But please, and I don't get everything right. This is part of the 1945 ritual. Gods in the sky. They did this during 1945. Remember, Hitler got supposed fallen angel technology, like the bell. See? Connection. You see why I'm calling this? I'm not making any goddamn predictions. I ain't predicting shit. I don't make predictions because I can make 99 predictions, get every one of those fucking right, and then I get one wrong and everybody throws me under the fucking bus. So I don't make predictions on this ministry. I look what they're doing. I see what they putting in their movies, papers, the echo chamber, and that's what this is what it's saying. So this is part of the 1945 ritual. We've got to see the fallen angels give the tech to these elitists so they can use it for us and put us in cities and they'll love us all and we'll move into the future where everything's awesome. Team fucking robot. Look at a goddamn fucking factory of a Ford factory in the 80s. And look at it now. It's all robotic. There ain't no fucking humans in sight. You don't think they won't take your jobs? Yes, they will. They don't need us anymore, brothers and sisters. You're a useless food eater according to these people. You're goyim. You're in their way. You're eating their fucking food and you're bringing their oxygen and you're not doing it. They don't care. You're not one of them. So, you know what I'm saying? So, please be ready because when they unleash this shit, you're not going back. You're not going back. They're not going to unleash these things. And it's like, we're never going back to 2019. We're not going to ever go back to a world where these tech isn't released on us. You guys, they already have a fucking McDonald's. There's nobody in that McDonald's. It's all fucking robotic. The whole McDonald's is fucking robotic. There's nobody in the store. It's already happening, guys. They're just slowly, and it wasn't like, 10 years ago that it used to be, iPhone 5, 6, 7. They drip this shit out at a year at a time. Now they're leaking this shit out 25, 50 years at a time. The tech drops are just huge. So I think they're ready. I think they're ready to drop their tech. They've got to get rid of these oil wars to bring in the tech, and they need an excuse to do it. They need to shut veterans like me up about fucking oil. That's why this channel gets, banned a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want you to know where they're going with these things. If they can keep you blindsided or bred in circus so you don't revolt, you won't stand up, you'll just go into the new system. If you don't have a foot out of the system and you don't like the system, you can't check out and go into your own system. So you don't have one foot out, you're going into the new system, whether you like it or not. It's kind of like, oh, well, they're going to make everybody pay with cars. Most people already pay with plastic. They don't care that it's not gold and silver. They don't care what the fuck they pay for. As long as it's in their little account and they can spend the little card and little tap or whatever the fuck they're doing now, they don't care anymore. They don't care if it's cash. They fucking banned the penny. Not banned it. They could ban it. That's illegal. That's fucking absolutely illegal. It has to be in gold and silver, but no way to make change. It's over. When you can't make change, then there's no way to fucking make change for dollars. When you can't break that odd even, the nickel's worth more than the penny. You know what I'm saying? The nickel's like 12 or 13 cents to make a nickel. A penny's 2.5 cents. It costs a lot more to make a nickel. So the nickel come next. Remember, they took the nickel and the penny away in the 1945 ritual of war. They put a steel penny and a silver nickel. So they started with the penny. Here we go. Already told you. Remember, they almost cornered the nickel market a couple years ago. Nickel is the only way to make stainless steel, brothers, sisters. And if you're going to go to war and you're going to have a bunch of fucking robots, you want them to go in water and weather, and you're going to need nickel, aren't you? Pay attention to what I tell you, brothers, sisters. I am not a prophet. Fuck that bullshit. That's word teacher. I ain't trying to be some kind. I ain't making predictions. It's not hard to see what they're doing. They already started the 1945 ritual by clipping the penny. Now we'll see the nickel go next. That's what they did in 45. So is everybody, you know what I'm saying? Everybody tracking with what I'm saying? We're going to eventually see this fallen angel with, there's no fallen angels, brothers, sisters. There's no fallen angels. A fallen doesn't mean from the sky. Fallen is fallen from grace, fallen out of the ruling class, fallen from his heavens, from his pride, like lions, pride of lions, proud, pride. So I hope you see this coming. To me, it's already happening. I don't have to wait for anything to happen. I know I'm already right. I don't care about being right or wrong. I really don't give a shit about if I get it wrong. But I think we're pretty close to seeing this stuff. I'm not making a day or a week or an hour or even a month. It says you'll see the day approaching, but I think this is coming. I think this is their next way to get rid of these oil combustion type, I'm not saying we still won't have combustion. We still won't have it, but it'll become almost obsolete. You forget that at one point in time, nobody had cell phones, and now everybody has a cell phone. So don't act like this couldn't fucking happen. Don't come in here and act like I'm fucking crazy. I don't care if you tell me I'm crazy or not, but I see these things, like I said, now everybody's got a cell phone. If you would have fucking, 50 years ago went around and said, hey, you put a whole fucking goddamn, what did it take, a whole city block or something for a computer, the first computer. Now you can take it and go take a shit and go take that whole computer, whole city block in there, and you can go study while taking a shit. You can bring it in there, and if they would have told you could talk to people all over the world, and you could bring basically how many RAMs of memory on these phones. They're incredible. These new phones I got a cheap ass, the last 4G phone that Verizon has. If I ever break this phone, there'll be no more live streaming. I got to let you know that, guys. I have to let you know that if I ever break this phone, there'll never be no more live streams from Predestined for Light. I just don't. I'm not going to get a 5G phone. I just won't get a phone anymore. So I'm trying to take care of this phone. I should put the phone cover on it, but I don't have it on there. But anyways, you didn't think the cell phone, 50, 100 years ago, they would never imagine that people could walk around and talk to anybody everywhere and all this stuff. You'd think they would be unfathomable. And now literally people have, it's unfathomable about a memory and power just in a phone. It literally could be used as a weapon, and you would have never thought that. People, that it's crazy. What are you talking about? Talking on, Tesla talked about this. He knew this was coming. There are a lot of people, again, that don't give this, this ritual that they're doing any validity, but that's okay. It's totally okay, guys. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they are. Yeah, I know. It's disgusting. I got out of the service. I'm 51. I got out of the service in the 90s. So just be ready, brothers, sisters. Again, that's the thing. As a veteran, you guys think that this stuff is new. We had 5G in the fucking desert. This. It just depends on what your skill identifier was. I don't even go there, but they're dripping out. Remember, it was 2 or 3 years ago, those fucking robots were on a string. 2, 3 years ago, the robots on a string. Now these fucking things are riding bikes, doing the backflips, doing the YMC, the Macarena. They're dancing and shit. I don't think that's the dance that they do now, but what, you know what I'm saying? So it's going to be such a different place, guys, when all this shit's released. because they could have released this already. We've had this tech for a long time. You think drones are new? You think that's what I'm saying. The public does not get this stuff. The military does. DARPA goes through all this stuff. The NSA, they're not going to let drip this shit out to the public. This is controlled, brothers and sisters. So we're about ready to leave this whole generation of combustion oil wars in the desert and all that. They got to figure out another way to fight. And so they've got it figured out and they're ready to go. I'm telling you, the government is 100% asphyxiated and ready to go, because I do think it'll come with an event, with a lights out event. And that's going to be, that's how they'll power everything back up. And that's how they'll use all this technology that they have. And you won't need, because they'll have free energy and anti-gravitics and electrogravitics and perpetual motion and all these things, you know what I'm saying, that we could have had for the last 100 years, 200 years. Remember, if you wrap copper around a circular magnet, you spin it around, that's a generator that produces electricity. This is old technology, brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't think we'll ever get rid of the gas combustion technology. It become obsolete. That's what I was saying earlier. So I don't think like I said, it'll still be in play, but it just be, it's like a flip phone now. It's like you wouldn't think that brick Nokia, that big thing, that big phone, you know what I'm saying? So, brick phones weren't a thing. Now they got these foldable, whatever, and the technology catches up, sometimes. And people would never thought, they'd be riding around in a combustion engine when they were riding in horse and buggy, and then that made that go away. And there's all these things that make things go away that pretty quickly. So sometimes they do come obsolete. Sometimes they won't become obsolete completely. So I do think combustion will be part of our future, but it'll become almost nearly obsolete. Most people won't use it. It'll be unnecessary. We have things that make it to where we don't need to even fire a combustion engine over. Not necessary. They have things that are much more, it's like hydrogen, way more, I forget what they call those, joules or whatever of even water than there is in gasoline, and oil. So doesn't have the carbon footprint, all that stupid bullshit. And so they're ready for this. Like I said, they'll, I don't think, like I said, I don't think the oil will last too much longer. They have milked this black goo, this black gold for how long? Well, since Donald, got all this stuff started with dropping 3 steel buildings with 2 airplanes. So they had it planned before then, because obviously they were doing oil, but that's what took us over to the desert. So, but we'll see, because this new future is going to all be about perpetual motion, anti-gravitics, free energy, and they're not going to need any, they're not going to need any people for this, brothers, sisters. You're going to be obsolete too. So fuck off. You're obsolete. We don't care about you. It's a big club and you're not in it. Now we got our robots to do all our shit. So you're fucking obsolete. You're next on the chopping block. They're already starting to do it. So, oh, cool. We lost our light. They're getting ready to go to these wars. Look at, we're getting ready to go into a full-blown hot world war, brothers and sisters. I mean, it's going to go hot everywhere. We just sent 3 fucking Navy destroyers down there to Venezuela. So get ready. Get ready. They're doing this, and they're not backing down now. You know what I'm saying? Shut the fuck up. Teflon, you're an idiot. You don't know your ass from a hole in the ground. You're so fucking lost. You're a fucking idiot. You're some you're one of these people who fucking loves just to push some bullshit and think you're gonna change what these fucking people are doing. 100. We have technology right now that we could build megalithic structures, right? Yeah, and we don't build them. Why? Because they're restraining the technology that we've had for thousands of years. So your 100 years, man, is a bunch of bullshit. Shut the fuck up. Don't speak. Don't say anything else in here. You're rubbish. Go. Get the fuck away from me. Seriously, get the fuck out of here. You're an idiot. You don't have it. They've been holding. There's one man responsible for every fucking oil death, and it's Donald Trump. Okay, until you can speak the fuck up about that and actually speak some fact, get the fuck out of here. Seriously, go away. Go the fuck away. So we have technology that we've had that they've been holding back from us, and that means we never needed to kill one single person over oil. So fuck off. Seriously, don't come in here and talk some stupid ass shit. We never needed to kill anybody over fucking oil. Not one single child needed to fucking die. Do you know how many Iraqi women and children lost their lives in Operation Desert Storm, Desert Shield? Women and children. Iraqi women and children. Not men signed up for war, drafted, but women and children, casualties of war. Just those two operations. Operation Iraqi Freedom. How about that? Nope, you don't give a fuck about women and children. You don't care about the casualties of war. As long as you can be free and fucking flip on your Netflix and not give a fuck about anybody else, you're fine. You're an American. So all these other people have had to be on the other end of our military for how long? Well, guess what? Remember, they just said they're going to put 51 million fucking militia in Venezuela, and there's not one fucking militia in America. So you're a bunch of weak ass Americans. Don't fucking speak up in here and act like we're anything. Nobody's afraid of America anymore. They're just disassembling this fucking country right before your eyes. It's happening and you don't give a fuck. You could have done something about it years ago, but you didn't. So we're in the decline. You're not saving this country. It's not going to be great again. The destruction of America is a controlled demolition. 3 steel buildings with 2 airplanes. You're fucking lost. They're still touching kids at our fucking airports, but you don't give a fuck. You're okay. You're like, oh shit, I get a free massage at every airport, honey. So take your sick shit somewhere else. I'm tired of this country just going around and fucking everybody up. And then the stupid fucking Americans that live in this country are okay with it. Why people have to suffer because of our, fuck your capitalism bullshit. Fuck this country. I can't wait to see it completely destroyed and rebuilt, and whatever comes of it, that's what Father wants. But I'm tired of us going around and policing the whole fucking world with 1,000 military bases in all 180 countries and getting away with it. And we're not. This is enough is enough. We've been a fucking bully. We're a Nephilim. America's the money changers in Scripture. That's what we are. We are the money changers. We're no different. We're no different. So, but you're not going to get in the way of these elitist brothers and sisters. You're not going to stop this. So don't try to get in the way of this shit. I did. I joined the goddamn military at 17 years old, thought I could change the fucking world. Right? You're not changing what these elitists are doing. The only thing you can change is yourself. So the best thing you can do is get out of the system, become your own system, become independent, find your own meat sources, find your own vegetable sources, find your own food sources, dig your own well, get on a piece of property where you can afford to live, where it's not so fucking expensive that you're going to get taxed. You know what I'm saying? Here we go into this future. You know what I'm saying? But this is what they're doing. Okay. So they know this is coming. These elitists are ready. These people at the top are ready. And you're in the way now, brothers, sisters. They're just starting to sweep Americans off the street. So I hope you see that. I hope that fucking makes you, check your neck there a little bit. This ain't Venezuelans. This ain't Iraqis or Iran, or this ain't people from Sudan, or these ain't Mexicans. These are your fellow fucking Americans that are being put and taken off the streets because they don't have enough money. 19 of you in here, guarantee you, 16, 13 or 14, you are a paycheck away from the streets, just like everybody out there. Please be fucking kind to your brothers and sisters out there, brothers and sisters. These are people. Show them to the narrow way. Not everybody's nice. I understand that. You know, but show these people some. What would Christ do? That's what I'm going to ask you. What would Christ do in this situation? He wouldn't just be throwing the people the fuck out of here. People have been here 30 years, ripping apart families, and this is bullshit over a piece of paperwork. Over a piece of paperwork? Fuck that. They committed murder, rape, armed robbery. Get them out of here. But these are people. These are our people, brothers, sisters. These are our own fucking citizens in this country. And every one of us has seen how expensive it is to live in this country. The ground beef price is like $9 a pound, guys. This is not a cheap place to live. America, you could take your American money and go live like a king in some other country. You could. Look it up. I could live, go look up $1,000 a month. Look how many places you go live like a king. Seriously, for that, Ecuador, that's $500 a month is the average cost in Ecuador. You get $2 fucking plates of food down there. It's like living in the 80s. No, it's not. Yes, it is. You ain't never been out of America. So think about what we're doing on the streets of these countries, brothers and sisters, just watching these people being kidnapped. And like I said, anybody can go buy these badges, whatever badges that they're wearing, because they're not actual police badges, and they're not fucking wearing any number, and they're not identifying themselves. So that means any one of you, we could take 13 of us, we could go get in a couple cars, and we could go fucking kidnap a couple fucking people right off the streets, and everybody's going to back the fuck off if we just put the face diapers on, because nobody can see us. We could go around like a Gestapo and kidnap anybody we want off the streets right now. This is the most unsafe fucking place to be in the world right now. There's not a more unsafe place to be. There's another country where they're just fucking everybody in the plain view of everybody just going in and acting like fucking police, just pulling American fucking citizens off the. If you resist, they'll deport you, they said. Even if you're an American, they're involuntary detainment, and they're going after people with medical disabilities. So if you're one of these people that collects Social Security, I warned about this years ago. I warned about this. If you have a disability, mental disability, that means you could go into these camps too. Not everybody lives on the streets is fucking poor either, per se. Some people don't want a house. Some people live very well on the streets, as a matter of fact. Nope, can't be homeless in America. They're fucking turning this place into a ghost town, brothers, sisters. There's no activity going on in the streets of America. Just go to Mexico and look in the goddamn neighborhoods. They're bustling with kids running around. It's like being back in the fucking 80s. There's nothing good about this country left, brothers and sisters. There's nothing good about this country left. The only way we're going to do this is if we think about what we do and we do it non-violently. We have to go around this system. If enough people just quit fucking paying taxes, the federal government would dry up. There would be no fucking Donald Trump. There would be no fucking Mitch McConnell. There'd be no Hillary Clinton. There would be no fucking, all of them. They're all serving themselves, the dragon themselves. They're not serving the people anymore. Neither are the police are not serving the people. They're a Gestapo for the fucking elitists. That's all they do. They're fucking commerce enforcers. I know I used to be one of these pigs. They don't have your public safety in mind. The only thing cop cares about is his safety. He's not a firefighter. Never heard a song called Fuck the Firefighter, have you? Nope, because a firefighter, like a police officer, is two different things, right? No, a firefighter run in a building and save your daughter, your wife, your cat, your dog, shit. They might even risk your life over your fucking gerbil. Lose their life. Selfless people. Only thing cop cares about all day long is his safety. His or her safety. All they're going to care about is going home at the end of the night. They don't care. They just want to go home. They're in the wrong line of work. So be very careful out there on the streets of this corporation, because they got a big gang fucking thug out there. The largest gang in the world is called this standing army, called the state troopers, the deputy sheriffs, the sheriffs, elected sheriffs, and all these city cops. They're fucking thugs and they're road raiders. They don't have the best interest of the people in mind. They're not operating in a judicial capacity. they're enforcing crimes of commerce. There are no crimes, judicial crimes being committed today, yesterday, last year, 10 years, 20, 30, in America. These are all called crimes of commerce. And that's what they do. They extort your bond number, and that's what your bond is. That's the Social Security card number. It's a bond. You were bonded from birth, and that's what they're taking from you when you go to court. When they fine you and fee you, it's all part of this corporation system, Roses. You don't think it's happening, but it is. It's happening right under your nose. So don't tell me the politicians give a fuck about you. The people who work at fucking government give a fuck. FEMA's not going to save you. The only person is going to save you is Christ. And you have to endure to the end to be saved. So you better be trying. You better be at least trying. Don't be one of these opportunistic motherfuckers when shit goes down. You're just going to go take everybody else's shit. There are people like that, brothers and sisters. They're waiting for these days. And they know this shit's going to happen too. And it already is. Like I said, you don't have to wait for shit to happen. They're literally kidnapping our own American people. It doesn't matter what color your skin is right now. It's just that you're poor. That's the qualifying this time. What's going to come next? What is next? Hey, when we were fucking over there in Iran, blowing up Iran, you seen them just shipping Iranians out of here. Lots of things on YouTube, lots of things on TikTok. I've seen it. Shipping the fucking people. Oh, it's this. When we're going after one country, that's who the now it's poor people. So who's next? What? Maybe it's people who have blonde hair. Put blonde hair in the chat if you have blonde hair. Are you blonde? You're next on the list. Well, it was World War II. They wanted all the blonde hair and blue eyes, but now you're first on the list to go. If you got blonde hair or blue eyes, put blonde hair or blue eyes in the chat. You're fucking out here. Get in the van. Get in the fucking van. Get in the cage. I don't care. You resist, we'll deport you out the fucking country. You know what I'm saying? It could be that. It took American citizens during World War II, brothers and sisters, and put them in concentration work camps and made them work as slaves for the government. You don't think that can happen to you? Yes, it will. Executive Order 11004 allows the Federal Emergency Management Agency under a national emergency to relocate whole communities. And Trump came in and declared a national emergency day one. And he keeps declaring more and more. So I'm not going to get this wrong. Just right now, they're picking poor people. They'll eventually start relocating whole communities. This will come with your false flag event. So be ready. The best thing you can do is try to yoke with people who are equally yoked that don't want to fight the system, who become their own system. You're going to be out there on the streets, and this sucks. I don't want you to feel like you can't leave, but I don't think it's even safe to leave your house right now in America. How could you prove that you're a U.S. citizen? What if you just look poor? What if you don't dress nice? What if I go fucking a week, wear the same shirt. I'll wash it or whatever, but I don't care what I look like. I'll wear this shirt right here until I die for another 50 years if I wanted. I don't care what I look like. Oh, well, you look like you're poor. Get in the van. See what I'm saying? This is gone, guys. This is it. If you ever needed a time to say, hey, man, this is a time where I should probably do something, and without panicking and without doing it too fast so I miss the details and miss something important, this would be a time to probably, hey, maybe that bug out location's looking pretty good right now. Maybe we should go there before they shut the gates. You know, when they shut the gates, we won't get there. So that's where we're at. The captain has not put the fasten seatbelt sign on right now, brothers and sisters. You're free to move about the cabin, but how long that's going to be, undetermined. I'm not saying that he will, but they have before. He did it already once. They restricted our travel during COVID. It didn't stop me. I fucking whenever I want, but a lot of people went by it. So hope that you, you know, it's going to get wild, guys. It's going to get wild. You know what I'm saying? It's going to get pretty crazy. So are you ready for robots to be guiding you around, telling you what to do, stopping at stop signs, telling you where to go? I think they can continue to keep people around if people just listen to what the robots tell them to do. You know what I'm saying? They could probably, if the robots tell them what to do, and they'll listen to cops, so why won't they listen to robots? Imagine just a bunch of robot police. Imagine they fire all the police officers and they hire a bunch of robots. Is that possible? There are a lot of things that can happen, brothers and sisters. You know, in the future, there's a lot of movies that predict what they're going to do, right? So go watch some of your movies, I guess, and you'll see what they're going to do. I don't really watch movies. I threw my television away in the 90s. So but, there we go. There's going to be a lot of that too. And it's going to get wild, guys. It's just going to get wild. It's not going to be the end of the world, guys. The end of the world is probably decades away. So if you think you were going to get out of here, anytime soon, you're not. There's no end of the world. Not like that. The world has already ended back in 2020. We actually ended an age and started a whole new celestial age. So welcome to the new age, and not this new age bullshit that these people talk about. So we're already in a brand new celestial age. So we got 2,000 years of this age, plus this slice of pie time. So be ready. This is the age where the heirs are crowned in the age of Aquarius. So the heirs to the throne of God. Heirs, remember, if somebody fills out a will and they have possessions and we are his purchased possession, he's going to come back and pick up what his purchased possession is. Well, there you go. You already bought and paid. Prognosco from the foundation of the world. So you're not going to change this, brothers, sisters. You're not going to change what they're going to do, but be ready. You're supposed to have your loins girded in his service till he returns. That's what he told us. Have extra oil and trim your lamps. Trim your lamps, because nobody knows. Maranatha, he said, till I return. So just be ready. That's all I'm saying. You're not going to get in the way of what they're doing, but the best thing you can do is just get out of the way. Just don't fight this system, right? Physically. Don't participate in the system and it'll dry up. It's like a school bully, brothers and sisters. It's like you keep giving that school bully attention, he's going to keep messing with you. You don't feed something, you don't water it, it's not going to grow. So, all right, let's wrap this bad boy up. Guys, thanks for your time. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me here. Just thought I'd come in here, and we did a bunch of work for the ministry. I worked a whole lot today, too. First part of the day, I did a bunch of moving in the garage stuff in the front and the back there. So we'll try and get it tomorrow before it gets too warm during the day. Maybe we can get there. I'm trying to get Kevin his garage back over there. He bought that 53-foot semi-trailer, and it's got mostly my stuff in it. It's all my stuff, but it's mostly filled, so I got to get it out of there. So love you, brothers, sisters. Thank you for your time. Thank you for those people on the last stream. We had a couple people super chat. That's cool. We'll put it towards the other ministry. Soon. I had an extension on the date, so I had till September or something now. So I got to sit here and kind of postpone this. So we'll just keep moving on here. And thanks for those who've made some support donations to the ministry. I do appreciate. I've kind of, like I said, I made a little separate fund there for the Ecuador ministry. So appreciate you guys. We'll be so excited to get down there someday here. Hopefully, I don't know. I'm not going to set a date on it. I don't want to make any plans because God will destroy my plans. So don't make plans, God. You make plans, God will crush them for you. Let God's will be done. But if you want to support the ministry in a monetary way, you can do that, but you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to ever support this ministry monetarily. Don't ever feel obligated to even support it with a dime. Your comments are what makes the ministry what it is. Okay? I'm just one of 21,000, almost 22 or something like that now. But it is banned, so we do appreciate, we get a new face now and then. That's good. It doesn't have to grow though. We're trying to keep with the good solid base that we have here. So definitely come back when you have some more time, because that's something that you can give to the ministry is time, because you can't print it and you can't make it and you can't get it back once you spend it here. So if you know anyone who has abundance or something and they want to donate to this ministry, they can. You're not going to find any other ministry anywhere else like this one. So if it behooves you and you have extras, please help people in your local area first. go find somebody to help. Find somebody in your, you know what I'm saying? Um, there are people, I'm sure, in your family and your friends that you can help. So, but if there's somebody that has abundance, we had somebody give the largest donation I've ever received, and I put it into precious metals, so it's locked up, so it's not going anywhere. I thought that was a good thing to do to it. That way, it won't get spent, and it can't get taken. You know, I mean, as far as by inflation or anything, and it's actually gone up a little since I purchased it. So, um, if you know anybody who wants to make a donation, that the links are in the description. But it's definitely never part of it's the requirement for tithe in this ministry is your time. So there is Cash App, PayPal, and Bitcoin. That Bitcoin looked like it was back up again. I went and looked at it forever, but so interesting. Somebody bought that Bitcoin like 2 years ago on Cash App. I didn't know it was a thing, and it's gone up and down. It's kind of moving around. It's kind of silly to watch it, but one day I'll cash that out too. We'll cash that out hopefully, and we'll put that towards the ministry too. So we're working on that, and we're always working on lots of things out here. You can see me out here doing lots of things out here in the high desert. We're trying to get the ministry down to South America as well. So we have 2 chapters. We have the North American and the South American ministry. You know what I'm saying? Um, so we'll do good things with the tithes that we get. And if not, I will, like I said, I'll definitely pay it off. I've been able to purchase all these things without support of the ministry, which is good. Because you guys just come supporting my time, and I work full time for the ministry now. I've retired, so I don't have to have any other guy. I just only have one land payment now of the 20-acre parcel, but I'm going to get a cabin built on that one. I've been starting to purchase materials and collect materials for that building, and I'll definitely be putting that together here, hopefully for the end of the winter, and I'll be renting that out, so I won't have any more payments. I paid this ministry off $47,000. I paid the 5-acre off. I sold that one to Kevin that helped me pay this one off, and so I just have the 20-acre parcel to pay on now. So hopefully we can get somebody in there. This town needs rentals, so I'm kind of excited about somebody in there and giving them a really neat, building, and give them a big opportunity, because there's just nothing to rent out here. So it just hardly ever, nothing comes up. They rent so fast. So it'd be doing people a service too out here. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I might have to build it over the winter months like I did the Dragon, but we'll see. We'll see. Another way you can tithe is get a hold of me. You want to come out here to the ministry, get a hold of me. I'm looking for people to come labor out here, and there's still some time. It looks like there might be enough time to get a cabin together or something for the end of the. You want to come live off grid? This is where we do it. You know what I'm saying? It's father. It was Christ was a man of very few possessions. He didn't have very many possessions, so he just traveled around and shared the ministry, shared the gospel, not the ministry, shared the gospel. So that's what I'm hoping someday that my life will have, because I don't need anything. I've already got to live the materium. I have a son. I don't know if he's alive now, but I have a son. I got married once, and I've got to live a really good life. So now I can just work full time for the ministry, and I feel so blessed now. So all donations will be going towards the ministry, brothers, sisters. I don't need anything. I don't need any more material things. So, but we're going to get the ministry moved soon, not moved, but we're going to get a chapter down there. So excited to, there's so many people in South America that I feel even more enthralled to go down there now that all that stuff is going on down there. As Venezuela, I want to go down to Venezuela too. I want to visit Venezuela right now. Wish I could be down there right now. So if Father will someday unchain me, we'll see. I'll get unchained. We'll do that. So, but that gives us some time to store up, whatever we need. And we've got, lots of work to be doing out here at the ministry too. So, but I'm going to put that in a reserve account, you know what I'm saying? And hold that, for the ministry, because I had to spend the last of it was my retirement, but I was willing to spend my retirement on the ministry. So, I had to spend it on counsel, You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to, but they were going to throw me in prison. And I don't want to go to jail. I have all the evidence. They just don't want to look at the evidence. So they were just going to railroad me. So I had to, guys. It was 15 months. The two attorneys quit. They didn't do anything. Nothing. They never filed any paperwork. So I had to hire an attorney, and he's expensive. He's one of the most, but I'd be in jail right now. So this country is shot. The law is gone. So no, I'm not a convict. And who fucking cares if I was? I know I'm not a convict, you idiot. You're a fucking lame ass motherfucker. You know that? How the fuck did you get that I was a convict out of what I said? Get out of here, you fucking idiot. Go away, child. You can't even fucking discern what I'm saying. You don't know anything. Leave. So, seriously, brothers, sisters, they have no idea what the hell's going on. Open your mouth. Christ was a convict. They threw him in fucking jail, you dumbass prick. Yeah, Christ was a convict. Trump's got 34 fucking felonies as the president. He can't own a gun, but he's in charge of the fucking military. These people are just lame, guys. So watch out for people like that too. Watch out for unprepared people. People who are unprepared to even think, for themselves. Like I said, there's two kinds of people who think the world's going to be there to always save them, or somebody, or the government. And there's people who use their head. So start using your head, please. Thank you. So, all right, let's wrap it up. Much love. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for your tithe of the time. Remember, you don't ever have to tithe any money to be a part of the ministry. But you can't come in here and be swine and putting in stupid comments, okay? We won't have it. We're here. We only have so much time. So we want to use our time wisely. And he said, be wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove. So this is my gentle, okay? You don't like it, too bad. So go somewhere else. There's plenty of these fake ministries that people tithe thousands of dollars every single Sunday, every Saturday. After fucking paychecks, they give you these fake ministries. So just come back when you have more time, okay? Thanks for it, and stay updated. Keep coming back, and you'll see the ministry grow. So not so much by the number count here, but all the things that go on out here at the farm at High Desert Faith and Truth Ministries. And we'll be super excited to tithe out food, organic food. I'll just give you a little quick thing, then I better go. This ministry is going to tithe food, organic food grown here at the ministry to the people of the ministry. So I'll eventually need 2 or 3 more people here in Silver Lake, Oregon, and I'm not going to struggle to get anybody in Ecuador. I know I will be able to employ people down there. I'll be able to deploy people down there. So thank you for your time, guys. And we'll get see you on the next broadcast here at High Desert Faith and Truth Ministries. Hope you can glean something from the ministry. Apologize about the light going out, but I've been on here for 6-8 hours today at least. So we did a full-time day for the ministry. Hallelujah. Thank we got to put in a full Saturday here on the old Saturn day. So hope you enjoyed your stay, and hope you took something from it, and go share that with somebody else. Okay. Go share. Okay. Share these things with it. These other people are supposed to be charitable with the word, not with money. That's why I don't want your money. We want to tithe food here, not money, but be charitable with the word, man. Go out and share this. Show people this narrow way, and your treasure awaits, brothers, sisters. We will be kings. Okay. In this lifetime, those with less will have more. So don't go try to be some kind of king in this lifetime. All right. He's our king. He's our king. He's the one who said, Revelation 3:11, I come quickly. Remember, there's 2 crowns. Let no one take your crown, brothers, sisters. Let no one take your crown. Okay. That's this. Skies will roll back like a scroll. All right. Pastor Revelation. Revelation means to lift off the cover, to lift off the lies, to show you this aletheia. I hope you took some truth from here, to pull off the veil, to remove, to reveal. I am Revelation.